I don't know why I do that intro now. I just do the la 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 la. Welcome to Beyond the Realm. No, fuck, damn it. Chromatic Dragon Saga.
You tried.
Holy shit! This whole time we were like talking, we were like so good to see everybody, and then it just like what? Just trip right out of the gate.
Ta-da!
Try that again. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Chromatic Dragon Saga, episode 7, I believe. We're at that point now. Hello, everyone. Thank you for hanging out with us today on this Saturday. Not going to announce too many things off the bat because there's a lot of gameplay we're going to get through today in our lovely Horde of the Dragon Queen story. So, was that?
Oh, no. I was like, yeah.
Oh, yeah. And they're like, I was like, oh, what you got?
I got nothing.
But yeah, everyone, kick back, relax, and enjoy the next few hours of D&D entertainment as we step into the latest episode of the Chromatic Dragon Saga. Okay. So, last we left off, the party had taken on a mission to infiltrate the dragon cultist encampment, where they learned that a few of the citizens of Greennest had been captured and taken in, along with a monk known as Leosin. Through this traveling, you came through a few cultists on your way to get to the camp. You made short work of them. You found this dragon cultist encampment in the base of this kind of mountainous region. Multiple tents, multiple kobolds, hunters, bandits, a few leaders of this group. One that you recognize, Langderosa, of course, covered in his gold and purple adornment armor. Once you found this encampment, you were trying to figure out different strategies, different ways that you can get in, try to rescue these villagers in Leosin and get out. And as you kind of made your way to the camp, two of you, most notably Archeon and Amara, went up along the mountainside region, kind of staying out of sight, inching themselves closer to position near where you could see where these villagers in Leosin was located, while the other three, Apollo, Avery, and Arlie, went into the cultist camp, tried to blend yourself in and kind of just be one of the crew as you went in, kind of asking questions, trying to get a lay of the land of like what they were doing here, what's the purpose of this encampment, what their intentions are, finding out that the kobolds and the human bandits in this group were kind of at odds. They've been treating the kobolds really shittily and not very properly, and you're starting to use that to your advantage, kind of putting a few whispers in the kobolds' minds, like, these bandits are too good for you. They're not the true followers of Tiamat. We are the true followers of Tiamat. Try to riff up the friendship, so to speak, inside the camp. But after a few hours, you kind of waited till the dead of night to make your move, as Amara and Archeon sort of hiding out amongst the sort of top on the cliffside near this horseshoe sort of embankment that the camp is situated in. Also noticing this very big cave entrance at the south end of the encampment, where you saw lots of activity to and fro, various people going inside, carrying out crates of things. The villagers themselves having been turned into prisoners at this encampment and kind of workers at the same time. You saw them kind of chained up, taking things, various things in and out, rocks and such. But you waited till the dead of night to kind of make your move, try to rescue these villagers in Leosin, and had some fairly clever tactics. Amara, transforming herself into giant wolf spider, was able to sneakily make her way down to where Leosin was and rescue him that way with no qualms. Apollo, Avery, and Arlie saw that some of the guards that were kind of standing watch near the prison site, the prisoners' encampment site, had left on patrol, and there's a couple left. And through a very clever strategy, waited for Arlie to kind of sneak her way into one of the guards' tents and attempt to seduce one of the guards as a distraction that was highly successful, that allowed Avery to very quietly sneak up behind this guard and just murder him super violently, and not a quick death, as after a few attack rolls, The HP was just getting smaller and smaller, but not enough to just do one quick kill. The two of you were just murdering this poor guy over and over again until he was no more. Apollo able to do his turn, take his part in this, sneaking up behind the other guard, executing him as well. That left you pretty free and clear to rescue these prisoners and make out with Leosin, as Apollo at the last second decided to take one of the dead cultist bodies and kind of rig up kind of a fake dummy-like stature of Leosin in its place, so it wasn't as noticeable. But as you were all doing your best to try to get these prisoners up into that mountainside, one at a time with rope, and with Amara as a giant wolf spider carrying people across, just as you're getting down to the last prisoner or so, a group of patrolling kobolds, like 3 or 4 of them, were kind of making their way near the campsite that you were doing this all in. And they were kind of starting to come your way, and in the last minute thought, Apollo just said, just wait here, I'll be right back. Rushed over to kobold and said, it's time! The revolution is now! We're doing this! And convinced the kobolds to just ransack a local campfire of bandits and hunters, and started this huge upheaval inside the camp that, on as clever as the plan was, alerted the entire encampment to your presence as this huge fight between the bandits and the kobolds erupted. Everyone in the camp was kind of woken up and drawn to the attention of the scuffle, and that led to one of the leaders of the encampment, that woman that you had all seen earlier with the short black swooped hair, also wearing adornment of purple and gold robes, making her way out of the cave entrance over to where you were, saw this dead cultist in the place of the newly rescued Leosin, and sounded the alarms to the entire encampment, as the prisoners in Leosin are now freed. So we pick up right at this moment, where an entire dragon and cultist encampment is now, you hear bells ringing, you see various groups of all of the members of the encampment starting to come out of their tents. The numbers are starting to double and triple as just hordes of the cultists are coming from all sides, trying to seek out where these prisoners have gone off to. So as your group is all on the top of this sort of cavernous ridge, you're looking over down. It's still in the dead of night, as the light from the various campfires illuminating tons of these cultists and kobolds and all sorts of humanoids rushing all over the campground. What would you like to do?
Run.
Yep, we gotta run.
Amara's gonna turn back into a druid and just go shh, and then cast her the Without a Trace spell.
Pass without a trace.
Pass without a trace. Okay. So as you see the legs of the giant wolf spider sort of cave into the massive body, legs kind of sprout out of the spider hairy form, as Amara just rips the skin off from side to side, and it falls on the ground as it turns dried up and into ash and blows with the wind. And Amara stands before you and starts to cast Pass Without a Trace to give you a very huge advantage on your stealth. So, Amara, you can check that off.
Yes. I'm still looking for it in my thing. There we go.
Okay, so Pass Without a Trace. So as you guys are all sort of getting up sort of on your 2 feet from this cavernous ridge, you're looking down and seeing all this activity down below. You notice as you're kind of walking, you're hearing the crunch of the hard rocks and the rubble, that they start to become a bit muffled, as you see Amara kind of waving her hands and signifying the start of the Pass Without a Trace spell. The hard crunches start to become muffled, sort of like you hear it kind of almost sounding like you just got these soft socks gently pounding on the ground. So all of your movement is severely muffled and concealed at the moment.
Do we have to stay within a range of you for that to stay on us, or is that just on us all?
It's just when I cast it. So anyone within 30 feet of me that I choose will have it.
For
do we
an hour,
stay
right?
in that 30 range, though? That's what I'm wondering.
It doesn't say anything about that.
Okay.
Okay, then I would like to kind of run ahead a little bit, kind of towards. I want to get up and get a view on the wagon and see if there's anyone around the wagon or if we can get that out of there. But just kind of like full on sprints, feline agility, like go up the ridge there.
So as you go up to the ridge, you're trying to make out where your wagon was kind of put over by the trees. Make a perception check.
16.
16. So yeah, you can just barely kind of see your wagon off into the corner over here. But as you notice, you see piles of cultists coming out of their tents and starting to be on the lookout for anyone suspicious. And you start to see groups of cultists starting to come to the front entrance of the encampment here, and they're starting to fan out a little bit, but it looks like they're starting to make their way over to the entrance near where your cart is. It doesn't look like they found it yet, but you just see this platoon of cultists starting to move out from where the entrance of the encampment was and starting to fan out, trying to look for any suspicious activity. And these cultists over here, as soon as that woman in purple and gold shouted out, some cultists started to come over towards this encampment as well. And you can see them kind of like looking around for any clues. They're starting to look down on the ground. One of them has that weird sort of Komodo dragon looking drake on a leash that's sniffing around and looking down to the ground and like scratching around and looking for any signs of who may have been here. These guys over here. And then you start to see various cultists and kobolds starting to fan out and starting to look over on the mountainous ridges.
Okay.
As they some start to make their way and climb up.
Are any climbing up like the ridge that we're on?
Currently, you're seeing these guards here starting to make their way towards the rock, and you see some of them starting to climb up. These ones down here as well, they're looking at tracks, they're looking at the ground, clues. They haven't started going up towards the wall now, but you can start seeing various cultists starting to make their way up the mountain region.
Okay, looking back at the rest of the group, I can see them all like clearly. I'm just gonna point to the southwest, kind of the very bottom left corner, and just be like, just waving them to go that way.
Over this way?
Other way, opposite.
This way.
Through the trees, out of there. Yeah.
Okay.
Just like straight out. And then I'm gonna try and like motion like wagon. No go. No wagon. Just go. I'm like pointing them that way. And then I'm going to try and it's kind of off the map, but I want to get as far as I can up and kind of so I can come around here. So I can kind of make my way like in a long way so I'm not seen over to the wagon. All right.
Well, before you you move yourself over to that region, things have resolved. Before you kind of make your way over there, I'm just going to resolve the rest of the group here. So you see Apollo kind of jetting up, like running up ahead, looking over at the wagon. Then as you're kind of looking at him for any kind of response, you see him look over to you and he's kind of pointing over to this region over here. What do the rest of you want to do when you see that?
We're gonna go through the trees, try to lose them there. Hopefully it'll be harder to track and follow us through the trees.
Yeah. I'll also be holding the passed out monk.
And at this point, the monk, he was pretty tired and out of it. And you can see his eyes starting to wake up a little bit through all this commotion, the ringing of the bells, the shouting from below, and his gaunt, sort of half elven face. his eyes are starting to awake. He's like, what's happening? What? Who are you? And just looks up at Amara.
Hello. And then I'm going to just like pat his face and cure wounds on him.
Okay. How much do you heal him for?
12 hit points.
12 hit points. Okay, so the dark bags under his eyes, the cuts, the bruises, the hit marks from a couple days of being stuck in this encampment, and you saw some of the horrible treatment he was under. His cheeks start to fill in a little bit, looking lot less gaunt. His skin kind of starts to have a bit more of a fresh color to it. And you see him kind of getting his strength a little bit back. And Amara, as you're holding them, he's able to kind of like get his strength back and get up on his own 2 feet. Kind of looks over your shoulders like, oh, I think you've got a little bit of something, and like waves off like the dead spider skin that's like on your shoulder. It's like, that's better. Who are you? What do I call you first off? And he's just kind of like getting his bearings, talking to you all as the 8 or so villagers are all just like kind of panicked and like hugging each other and like looking down at the ridge overhead.
I love you forever soon.
We'll have time to introduce ourselves later. We need to get out of here now. We're here to save you. We gotta run.
And as Amara says, love you forever, she's like, that was you?
Yes, I'm the druid.
I thought the dehydration was getting to me. Wait, you're going. Wait, where are you going? Why are you leaving?
Through the trees, we're escaping.
Why would you want to escape?
Did you want to be there?
Yes! I was getting closer to figuring out what the hell they were doing, what the plans are, and you've completely ruined everything! And he's starting to, like, get a bit upset to the situation that he's realizing at hand.
You were going to be executed. In a couple hours, actually.
Well, we won't ever know, will we? I could have maybe gotten out of it. And he's like starting to hold back kind of a pride of being captured, essentially, but trying to convince you all, like, I could have gotten out of it. It's not that big a deal.
I'm going to flick his forehead. It's just like...
I was going to pick him up by the collar and just be like, listen, leaving now.
Yeah, one of you boys just knock him over the head real quick. This is ridiculous.
Just knock him out.
No! No! Do you actually want to hit him?
No. I just meant like a tap, like smarten up, we're leaving.
Look, no, it's taken me a long time to get to this point, okay? I'm going to travel north to Elturil after this. I'm going to convey what I've learned to my master, the Paladin of Torm, back home, but listen, we're far too close. I need to know what the hell is inside that cave. I can't just leave this empty-handed. Yes, you've alerted everybody. It's clear, and as he looks over and sees everyone scattering, but we might not ever get a chance like this. Many of them are leaving the encampment. You want to ruin that chance to be able to see what's in there?
They told me what was inside the cave was their plunder they've gotten from, their treasure they got from pillaging these different towns. That's what they said was in there.
Yes, I'm sure the treasure from all the plundering is in there, but you know what else could be in there? What they've been searching all this time.
A dragon.
Eggs.
Okay, but we have many villagers, innocent people we have to take care of. I mean, as your lovely druid, I would love to help you get back into that cave, the little hole, and we can organize that after we get them safe.
Look, I could try to help and get them to safety and get them to a safe area around here. If you want to use this opportunity, what we can, to try to get in there and see what's in that cave. I don't know if we'll get another shot of this. Look at them. They're all leaving. You see just a bunch of them starting to like fan out and kind of leaving that sort of other end of the encampment kind of unguarded as they're all kind of going towards the entrance of this place.
If this guy, whose name I've forgotten since last time, if he's going to be able to...
Leosin.
Leosin, thank you so much. If Leosin could take all the villagers to safety and we can go and get our recon team in there to go look at the cave, we could do that if we needed to.
Mm-hmm.
But what do you guys think?
I think we should go check it out.
Hell no.
I'm going to just like punch Archeon in the arm and be like, let's go. We're doing it.
All right, but only if
we can guarantee their safety, then we'll go.
He has an hour with this spell, so it should be relatively safe.
My friends, I owe you my life, and I would never do anything to dissuade that or to ruin that opportunity. But I need to know what is in that cave. If you won't let me go, I'm happy to go in there myself.
Okay. Take the villagers and meet us back here. How about
you
that?
back here,
Yes.
nearby?
Yeah.
And he's kind of looking around and trying to get his surroundings. All right. There's a heavily forested area not that far from here, about a few miles due west of here. If you can meet us there in a couple hours' time, I will wait for your signal over there.
Sounds good.
Okay, let's do it.
We'll see you then.
You'd better freaking
Godspeed.
protect the villagers or else.
And he sort of cracks his neck and starts to crack his knuckles, and you see that, like, even from the healing that Amara gave him, there's like tons of calloused marks on all of his knuckles from years of training for his style. He's like, don't worry, my dear, I can do my best.
Oh! He's very handsome.
And as Apollo, as you've kind of gone over now and kind of seen that the cultists kind of going towards the wagon, you looked over to everybody and went, no. And you kind of see them all kind of having this conversation as they're like half paying attention to you, but kind of involved in this conversation with this monk. As you saw them kind of starting to go towards the forest area you're pointing to, then they'll kind of stop, and you see this half elf monk talking to them and saying things in like big gestures and pointing over to the cave. What do you want to do?
I take out an arrow. And okay, so they're obviously not leaving. Like, I can see they're.
It looks like they were trying to, and the half elf is just like trying to stop them, and like they're having a conversation. It seems.
All right, I'm gonna continue with my plan and trust my team to not die. And I'm going to try and make my way. I want to get around to where the wagon is without being seen.
Okay.
That's like, if I can get around and down to where the wagon is, and
so
forward.
I will let you know. So if you just want to put yourself in that position, so as you moved over there, you saw all these cultists kind of taking formation and getting into different positions around the camp. As you're moving kind of over from here to there, you start to see these enemies starting to fan out into here. And they're getting much, much closer to that wagon. So as you're kind of making your way down here, I'm going to have you make a stealth check.
With Pass Without a Trace, which...
Let me just...
So that would be, I believe, with Pass Without a Trace, that's 34.
Ooh.
Because including you has a 10 bonus. Yeah, so 34.
So within 30 feet of Amara, which I believe you are not.
Well, it was casted when I was within 30 feet. And then that was the discussion at the beginning, is if it stays on. Yeah. So it's all creatures within 30 feet when the spell is cast.
Oh, right. Sorry. I looked at that wrong. Yeah. So as you go down there, you see them starting to get closer to your wagon, and you kind of just very quietly kind of tumble down the rock side. No pebbles are falling down. No twigs are snapping. You're just expertly just taking each step as you're just sort of flanking around them, around the trees there. So you're able to get around here through these trees, and you can see that they are like seconds away from coming out of the shrubs and like coming to your wagon here.
Okay. I'm still in my cultist gear. Can I? Okay. All right. Can I see them like clearly, the kobolds and stuff, as well? Like, can I see both groups there?
Make another perception check.
12.
12. You are fairly close. You can definitely hear like multiple groups of cultists like talking like, where are they? What do they look like? I don't know. And with that 12, because it was a 10 to beat, you start to hear a familiar voice that you heard from before. it was actually, no, you wouldn't have heard this voice because you were not there when this happened. You start to hear one of the cultists say, yeah, there was a servitor with fawn-like legs, and there was a half-elf wearing this type of armor. And
Can I turn around and shoot before it? Like, I want to pull out the arrow and just full on silence him before. Okay, I want to like position myself so there's.
Here's the thing, though: you don't see them, you hear them. They are currently blocked by all the tree and brush and everything.
Okay.
If you want to go into combat on your own, we can do that. But just know, if you try to shoot one of these guys, that will initiate combat for you and all these cultists. And just remember, these aren't just like 4 guys here and 5 guys here, because it's a larger map. Like, that's like each of those numbers is doubled, basically. So that would be you against all of those people. But you can take the shot if you want.
No.
It's
okay.
up to you.
What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna shout. I'm gonna position myself so there's like my back is to a tree, kind of, and then I'm assuming they're all kind of behind me, and then I'm just gonna shout in Draconic and kind of trying to mimic like a kobold voice over the side. Just the humans, they're using this opportunity to attack us. And then I'm gonna shout to the other side, those damn kobolds, in common, those damn kobolds, kill them all. And then I'm going to just sprint kind of away, keeping kind of quiet, and I'm gonna try and arc around to the other side if I can. I don't know it because it's kind of blind there.
So you shout all that from where you are?
Well, I put myself so there's no visible way to see where I am first, but then yes.
As I just made some rolls. As soon as you shout that, all of them go, who's that? Who said that? And you just hear shing, like you can hear swords being drawn, you hear arrows being knocked, and now they are actively looking for someone.
That is fine. I'm fully like feline agility, fucking like 90 feet, just gone. I'm getting out of there.
Where are you going?
I can't see further. Like, I would run just straight and then to the side, but I can't see past.
So you are just leaving everyone, basically.
Well, I'm getting eyes on me, making sure there's a disturbance at the front, and then I'm getting out of there as fast as possible.
So you're trying to lead them towards you, basically.
Well, I did that shout, and then now I'm trying to like just get out of their sight so I can duck around and then come back.
Right. You want them to try to follow you, though, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Because, they definitely heard you. And as you're shouting that, this group here will kind of go off and pursue you. As now you do, if you look back, you see that these various occultists have found the wagon and are now like inspecting it and kind of seeing anything that they can surmise out of it. But you see some like starting to open up doors and going inside and like looking around. A few of them are standing guard and just like peering around. But then there's that one group of cultists in those masks that are like chasing down your way as you're running and kind of making noise and trying to evade them through the trees. But from that, we smash cut back to the other group with the prisoners and Leosin and Toll as he's trying to make his case to try to have you guys go into this cave for him. What do you guys want to do at this point? You see Apollo just book it through the trees, and you see him just like shout like, they're over here, blah, blah, blah. His voice kind of just trails off as you can kind of see multiple guards kind of chasing after him.
I'm making sure that Leosin gets those villagers out safe first, so he needs to get out of here. So that's the big thing. Go.
So if you guys are like, yes, go, just get them out of here, and you're all okay with that?
West of here at that place you described. Yeah.
Okay, so he's like, thank you, my friends. And he starts to lead them all off in that direction. He's like, come on, you'll be safe with me. He just starts huddling them over towards that direction and just gives you guys a nod, and he starts running out into the forested area over there. And he tosses... I don't know, it doesn't toss anything. No, sorry. He leads them all off into this area over here in the woods. You just see him trail off into the shrubbery as they all kind of disappear. I'll have Arlie, I'll have you make a perception check for me really quick. Oh, what'd you get, Jess?
8.
Oh, an 8. So you... Oh.
Ask if I can get a sister because I have the spyglass.
Yeah, sure. I mean, you can all roll perception if you want. You're all kind of like listening in and seeing kind of what people are kind of up to in this area.
Do I have it at an advantage?
If you're like actively looking somewhere?
Yes.
Yeah, where are you looking at?
What was Arlie looking for?
We don't know.
These guys coming up this ridge over here. We all know they're, especially these guys over here. There's 5 of them over to our left side of the map. Yeah, we make sure that those guys aren't coming up.
Okay, so I'm gonna look at those 5 to the north of us there, and I will do. Pretty good already. 15.
15. So Arlie, as you're kind of like focused on seeing the villagers kind of go off into the woods with Leosin, you're kind of one-track mind, making sure they get out safe. But Archeon, you kind of look over here and you can start to hear and start to see just like, first you start to hear kind of like crumbling rock and various people sort of climb up the side of the mountain, and then you start to see a hand start to come to the top of the surface right here. From the guards that were over in this area, after Apollo kind of shouting this distracted thing like, I think I see them over here, they're not convinced that you are a kobold saying these things. They're convinced that you're probably someone who's starting all this shit and they're on high alert. But the various guards over here kind of shouting out to the encampment like, I think I hear something, something's over here. And it'll send this group kind of running off in that direction. And this woman here, the one who sounded the alarm, she is also starting to make her way back into this cave over here in the back.
Okay, so I want to suggest either one of 2 things. Either we kind of, since we have that spell on us, we could quickly go around, or we could stay here for a little bit, just cleave those 5 guys in twain, and slowly make our way.
How about you guys go? Or you guys do something about the guys just so they stop coming up, and I could go back into my spider form and make my way into the tunnel.
That's a lot of guys, though. Don't you think we should try to avoid battle?
Yeah,
if possible. I mean, I think we should all just run toward the cave.
I think that we should go back towards the cave. And then what I think we should do is just if Amara wants to go into her spider form and transform down into there and go and look, that's great. If not, then someone's dropping a rope. You know, Archeon and somebody else on the other side, we're gonna pull back up as soon as you see what's
I
out
was
there.
just gonna go cleave their heads off and then come right back, but if we
they
don't want to, as a group, just go around all this and don't fight anybody.
If they get up here and they see no one, then they might go back down.
Yeah.
If they get up here and they see us and they go, they're here, and then all of these people run up. So I think that we should just
pass without a trace right now, so we're pretty sneaky.
Yeah.
I say we just run down and around.
Okay.
You got a stealth buff.
Also, because you guys were busy with the encampment, I actually noticed the 2 leaders of the group going into the caves. I'm telling you this now. I just can't say it in my spider form, but I did notice 2 of them go in.
Okay.
And also, you did put webs all up over here where you were before, so in case they try to follow us around, they would get stuck, perhaps. So.
Yes, it does slow their movement.
So, okay, let's go.
All right. So I'm going to also cast my spider thingy again and turn back into a spider.
Okay, so that's 2 wild shapes, so I believe you're out of wild shapes now.
And while we're doing this, I'm going to just start like spreading my web all over.
spreading my web all over. Okay, giant spider or wolf spider. I believe it's 20-foot radius, or let me see. So you've got the bite. While in contact with a web, an exact location. So you can't cast a web as a giant wolf spider. You don't have the ability to cast web or difficult terrain. You have some abilities that come into play if you come into contact with a web. But as far as your stats go, you yourself cannot cast a web on the ground, unfortunately, in this form. I know, it's weird. There's some spiders that can and some that can't, unfortunately.
That's okay. I still say we go.
Yeah.
We got stealth at our advantage right now, so let's go.
I'm already boogieing.
Okay, so the four of you, as you see Amara once again, just start telling you, like, I think I saw some of the Sign Wrath and some of the leaders head into that cave. You're like, well, fuck it, let's just sneak around and get out of here. She once again says, I'm sorry, I'm telling you this now just because when I was a spider, I couldn't do it, but maybe we should try that way. Like, okay, fine, break. And you just see her go, just like spider legs just break out of her human form again. As legs just sprout out of her body as that skin kind of cracks out once again, sheds down to the ground.
Never gonna get used to that.
I just puke. I'm like, what?
So the four of you kind of make a beeline down this way. I'm going to have you guys roll stealth checks as well.
Stealth.
You guys have a plus 10 bonus.
On stealth?
15.
That would technically make it 28.
Woo!
19.
26.
Ooh, all very good. So you're all very easily able to kind of start darting your way down without making any noticeable noises or tripping and falling or anything of that nature. Was there anywhere particular that you wanted to sort of try to run to or hide behind while you're trying to gain enough distance before these guys are about to pop up?
Yeah, I want to stick as close as we can to these rock formations to make sure that we can try to get into crevices and run across that, use that for cover, because they're not going to be able to see us exactly, dips in a little bit, but stay low, stay close to the rock formation towards the side, and hopefully they won't see you there because you're under those hills.
Sure. So for the four of you kind of making your way maybe behind this rock formation here, sort of getting right up as a big pointy one is kind of situated there, kind of sitting behind it and kind of looking back as it's giving you cover from that direction and kind of the direction from below, until you're able to make another move and see where you want to go from there. But from here, we'll go back to Apollo. So you're just sort of darting between the bushes, making tons of noise, and you want to try to U-turn your way back.
The occasional, as I'm running, just the occasional shout in different voices, trying to just mimic, they're this way, rah, 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 rah. And yes, I want to just basically lead them and make enough noise and a distraction that they think something's going on over here. And then when I can, I'm going to duck to this. I'm just going to beeline it to the side. And with Pass Without a Trace, I was looking, it doesn't leave, tracks. It's not possible. So I would like to, as I'm running, make an effort to make tracks, and then when I beeline it out of there, I'm going to stop that.
Okay.
So the tracks just end, basically, and then I'm going to go. And I would like to curve around to the right and eventually kind of come around on the opposite side of the horseshoe.
Yeah, no, for sure. So you're kind of this sort of battalion of these cultists away from the front. As you see, kind of look behind you through the trees, you can see a few of them around your wagon, and they're starting to inspect it now. So you're like, fuck, maybe that thing is it's gone. And you're just trying to it's got to lead them away farther. You start, hey, they're over here. And not necessarily if they believe that you're one of them, but they're just following this obvious, big source of movement. And they're just sort of following the trail as they're looking down. They don't see tracks. You see them every once in a while kind of look down, try to see tracks, and don't find any. And when you shout out again, they're like, over here!
I'm going to throw in a Tiamat sucks!
And as you're kind of you kind of get a bit of distance, but they're kind of a few of them are kind of following you down. And then you start thinking about the tracks. You're like, fuck, like how much farther can I send them? You kind of got these nice like black sort of leather boots that kind of come up past your shin and kind of fold down. Kind of like take them off and put them on your hands, on your front paws, and you're kind of doing this handstand where you're just like on your boots, like making like noticeable boot prints in the ground as you're kind of just handstand, like hopping down through the ridges, trying to get ahead a bit, and then you kind of stand back on your legs in this expert like cat reflex, just down on the big patch of grass, and then start to run away. So I'm gonna have you, let's see, make a deception roll for me.
14.
14. Okay. Now roll stealth.
24.
24. Okay. So as you're making these prints with your boots on your kind of your front, doing this handstand sort of walk of sorts, stand on your back legs, don't make a sound, padded in some soft grass nearby. This Naruto run to a place nearby with cover into the bushes, and like a minute goes by, and you kind of hear the sort of the big heavy set footprints of these cultists coming by, and you see like 6 or 8 of them as this group's kind of coming around. They're like, "Sir, found some tricks over here, huh? What? Where?" And you see 4 of them kind of go over to the trail where you started making those indents. But I rolled really high on this. They look down at the tracks, and they're like, "Sir, this is weird. One of them is like forward, but then some of them are like on a diagonal, and another one on a diagonal. I don't know what this is, sir, but I don't know. Either this person's insanely drunk, or they're trying to lead us astray here." And they're catching on to the tracks, but they don't know where you are currently. So if you want, this could be your time to try to book it back to the campsite before you lose track of your friends entirely, or you could try to attempt to lead them further.
How far away are we now?
I'd say you're probably like, with dash, you could move, 120 feet?
90.
90. So yeah, you're about like 90 to 100 feet away from that entrance right now.
Yeah, so I'm gonna... Do they look like they're about to like just turn around and go back to the thing, or are they like still trying to figure out what's going on and like looking around?
They are wise to the tracks, because you rolled 14, I rolled 17 on figuring it out. So they saw the tracks. They know like these are fake, like they're not, someone's trying to dupe them. And right now they're just like, they're looking around trying to see like if this person is like waiting to hit them or anything. They're just like on the alert looking around. They're not going any further for this point.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
Would I be able to like arrow shot and then run without combat, like literally guerrilla warfare again, and just boop, run and go back to like shoot them from one angle and then arch and run around and out the other, so they kind of look that way and I'm going back to the camp, so they'll still be looking that way for a while? Just one arrow shot? If they don't know where I am, and then I quickly change position after the arrow shot.
Yeah, they don't know where you are. Yep, I'll let you have a surprise hit. Which one do you want to hit?
I'm going to wait for a moment to where one of them is within the eyesight of a bunch of others. So it's almost like as many people will see it as possible. Mm-hmm. And then I'm going to shoot that one.
One that's kind of like in the... Sorry, I'm just trying to understand.
One that's in the periphery of everyone there, or as many people as possible. I want as many of the cultists to see this hit as possible.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so they're all kind of gathered around. You can kind of see the sort of horseshoe formation being made as they're all talking like, "I think these tracks are fake, sir. Look at these patterns. They don't make any sense." And this one person who's like on the tracks is like talking to them. Yeah. And they're all kind of like facing him right now.
I'm going to just launch one arrow at his head and then go.
On Legolas, just like right between the eyes.
Yeah, this is guerrilla warfare. All right, yeah. It's a 14 to hit. I don't.
14. Hold on, bring it up. Does hit? Roll damage.
Okay. That will be a 14.
points of damage.
Yeah.
Bing! Look at this. I think one goes diagonal. It doesn't make any sense. I'm pretty sure it's.
And then I
one head kill. They're like, whoa! They're all just like freaking out. There's a tree. Where did that go? I don't know. Go to full. And they all just go like back to back, and they're all just like looking around, not sure what the fuck to do. So you've spooked them for sure.
I'm not gonna let them see me, and I'm gonna loop back around to the camp.
Okay. As you're looping back to the camp, we smash cut back to the other party members. As you've sort of picked your position hidden amongst this rocky formation over here, you do see this garrison start to climb up over the top, and they got their swords out and their bows, and they're just looking around for anything suspicious. What would you guys like to do?
Keep on running.
Yeah.
Keep on running. Okay. This group down here is still sort of looking for tracks. Ooh. Still sort of fanned out at this point. So you see some kind of over here, over there. There's one of those guard drakes over here. So they haven't, you can tell that they haven't like found like, oh, they're up. It leads up into the mountain. Like they're still just looking for any signs of who was here, as you were able to kind of cover your tracks a bit while leaving. But as you guys kind of make your way and kind of dart over this pass, past this clearing here, I'm going to have you make another group stealth check.
20.
Hey!
19.
19.
I got
okay.
20.
Hey!
26.
Okay, so once again, you kind of just pick your moment, wait for their eyesight to kind of get out through that sort of gap in the rocks, and you just Scooby-Doo, just ding, 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 one after the other. As a giant wolf spider also just tiptoes behind you over to this other sort of rock formation over here, able to pass, no worries. So as you've kind of darted past that gap, you found another big, huge rock to cover behind. Did you want to kind of try to make your way go lower, or did you want to stop right there?
I definitely want to keep those rocks on our inside shoulder because we can lower down. You know, Amara can climb down when we get to the cave. So I say we keep those rocks to our inside shoulder and keep moving along those. And yeah, use those as cover.
Yeah, there's a little opening closer to the cave. You can see that there's a little break in the high rocks.
It's a little hill almost, yeah.
There, yeah. I think that's where we should go down and make our way into that.
Use the rocks, use the trees as cover, and use the stealth boost we got right now.
Okay, so making your way, you want to go along this ridge and try to get to that point?
Correct.
Okay, so getting the 55 feet over there, you're more than able to do so, as you were just super quiet. No one's being able to hear you. The passive trace, again, muffling all of your footfalls and any kind of hitting rocks, any twigs are just muffled, like they're not even there, like you're in a soundproof booth. So as you slowly make your way, you're able to move to that clearing over there and kind of pick your spot of when you want to try to make a run for it. So you can move your tokens over there. And at this point, Apollo, trying to make your way back sort of towards that encampment, trying to going sort of through that trail back onto that mountainous cavern side. You are starting to see more cultists and guards starting to position themselves and kind of guarding the entrance, guarding any trails that they know of. So I have you make one more stealth check just to see if you can get past this group of guards up here that are kind of just stationed all over that embankment line.
I rolled really bad, 21.
Oh, I almost got a nat 20 on that. I know. So you're starting to see the line kind of stretch out more and more and more as the cultists now aren't just like all grouped and positioning at the entrance of the camp. They're like spreading out sort of past that entranceway over to the right, over to the left in this kind of umbrella formation, guarding any tracks that would lead and give anyone an advantage on the camp. But as you see them kind of walking towards there with your speed and your agility, all four, your tabaxi body just leaps you forward, start grabbing any twigs or any branches just to halt yourself even faster, shooting yourself over to that hillside embankment before they're able to get there and start covering it. So you're able to get yourself up here. As you do so, you see these guards now where your friends previously were. You do not see where your friends are currently. As you see this sort of battalion of guards in these sort of dark robes and various sort of weaponry, scuffled up boots and gloves are just like going around the ground trying to look for any signs of if anyone was up here.
Are they heading, like, are any of them looking towards me, or are they all heading like that way, like away from me?
These guys are all kind of situated all over here. Like, this guy is looking towards you. This guy is also looking towards you. These two down here are looking more towards south. And this guy here, you can see him kind of looking down the ground for any tracks or any footprints that he can find.
There's only 5 of them, correct?
This one is only 5, yes.
And it looks like they're just kind of bandits, like not anyone that's gonna, like, no leaders are in this group. No cultists.
No one in a purple or golden armor adornment set. You don't see any cultists that have those silver helmets, those masks, and those black leather robes and scimitars. These look like bandits, hunters, mercenaries. You know, the ragtag group of cultists that were kind of cultivated for this action.
I think I'm gonna pull out my my trusty move called Guerilla Warfare, and I would like to shoot one, and I'm assuming this will engage me with them, but it's the same thing. It's literally shoot, action, bonus action, hide, dash out of the way, like full, like I'm not letting them see me, and I'm gonna pick them off.
You're gonna try to pick them off?
Yeah, so I'm assuming I would get a surprise round on them.
You get a surprise round on one person, because you're going to attack once.
Yes.
You don't get to attack each of them on your own. You attack one.
Yeah, but okay. Yeah. All right. So is it, I want to position myself in a way that I can quickly, after I make the shot, I can get out of the way and move around. Possibly, I'm assuming there's more trees kind of along this edge.
So this tree line starts here. The only cover you have at this juncture are these rocks up here that you kind of hide behind and hide back, but this is all clear ground up until you get to here and into these trees.
Okay. Can I dash to those trees without, like, trying to still be stealthy, like get into those trees?
You want to try to stealth your way over to those trees?
Yeah, I mean, I can throw like a rock the other way if I need to, but like I'm just gonna try and full speed into the trees. You will be able to have a chance to try to stealth past them. There are 2 guards here looking that way. They will get advantage on perception to try and spot you. Do any of them have bows? At this point, you can't tell. Let me see. They are carrying spears. Oh, spears? Yes. So I'm going to then back up from where I am to the point where there's about 80 feet between myself and the guy at the very back. To the very farthest from me. You want to get 80 feet between you? Yeah, I want to put 80 feet between myself and them. So 80 feet would be way back here, like around there. Yeah, so if I can kind of get back, and then I'm going to take a shot at the one in the very back. I'm getting to a point where they can't get to me and still make a move. So you want to maneuver your way. So you're not moving from your position. You can try to make a surprise attack at this guy? Yeah. All right. Go for it, my man. I get advantage on surprise rolls, right? Yep. So 21 to hit. 21 will hit. That will be 15 damage.
15 damage. So as the rest of you also are kind of making your way closer to the cave, and you haven't seen Apollo or heard any signs of him in a while, and you're kind of making your way over to that cave system. You're kind of just looking around, just kind of starting to think to yourselves, like, where the fuck is Apollo? You should have been here by now. You're getting a little worried. Then all of a sudden, you just hear off in the distance of where you all were pulling up those prisoners. Just this Wilhelm scream off by the mountainous, cavernous terrain where you were. You one-shotted that dude. He is dead.
I'm aiming for headshots on all of them.
As this crossbow bolt singes through the air, and this guy just ragdolls ass over tea kettle, ass over tea kettle, onto the ground. All of these dudes just look over your direction. One of them's over here! Over here! Ting, 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 ting. Starts smashing his spear against his armor, and you just start seeing all of these cultists start to come up into your direction.
Still gonna take him a sec to climb up that rock, though, right?
It will take them a little bit, but they're all using their movement to come over towards where you are. So you've taken one out, and I'm gonna have to get you to roll initiative.
22.
Okay. As this is happening, as you the four of you hear that, and then you look down on the ground, and then you see, I found one of them. They're over here. And that smashing of his spear against his armor. Then you start to see a bunch of the cults on the ground that were kind of just surveying, patrolling, looking for clues, just start to just all rush towards that side of the area. Was there anything that you guys wanted to do, seeing and hearing this?
We just need to be urgent, so we need to make sure we get over this cave fast. I mean, he's drawing attention, so that means that he's doing his job. We got to do ours and get out. So we need to go ahead and make our way down. If we can get Amara to scamper down, maybe just scout that out. If she's done with her burrito.
Yeah, I can't talk to you guys, so I'm just gonna nod and just scamper my way down.
We just look back and the spider has a giant burrito, but it's just like
but it's in silk, like he's like
it's just in silk and like it's lettuce. It's like a lettuce wrap.
Yeah.
These giant like mandibles, just.
I'm a vegan spider.
So hearing that, you are all surmising that like that's the distraction. He's buying us time, scout it out and see what's down there. So Amara, you want to try to make your way down to the cave and see what you can see inside?
Yeah, can I check to see if there's anyone like around the cave specifically, or if I can see at least at the entrance?
So from the entrance in here, because it's a bit of a darker dim light inside, you can't see inside the cave from where you are, but just from the entrance of the cave, there's nobody standing guard outside of it. You do notice that this encampment up here, that much more highly detailed tent that was set up that you saw some of those leaders in gold and purple robes coming out of, those guards have not left their position or all this chaos and commotion. They've just firmly planted themselves there and are just like doing their duty and not moving. So they're the only ones within earshot of the cave. But other than that, there's nobody else there.
Okay. I will go ahead and crawl then. And I'm going to like crawl or try to make it so that I'm like upside down on the cave. So I crawl inside on the ceiling.
So you want to make your way over here?
Yeah.
Like towards the top of the cave? And then try to look inside? Okay. Make one more stealth check as you're kind of starting to get yourself kind of out in the open here. And those guards have a chance to spot you.
7, 19, 29.
Woo! Sneaky fucking spider. Nat one. Yeah, no, they don't see you at all. Your wolf spider body just naturally just camouflages in with the rest of this rocky terrain as you kind of just like looking for a moment of the guards who are just kind of staring straight. They're not like looking for anybody. They're just like protecting their station. you kind of wait for a moment for them to kind of just like be glancing around, and kind of as soon as all those guards like rushing towards that west wall of the encampment, you see their vision kind of go side as all the cultists are rushing over there. You've got a slight window to kind of get in and get out, so you kind of make your way over to the ridge of the cave. A little thread of web hangs you down just a bit for you to peer inside. And from the entrance of the cave, let me see. So the entrance to the cave is pretty broad and tall, but the ceiling, it quickly lowers down to a height of about 15 feet. Make a perception check.
Okay. And what would that be with my spider? +3? Roll d20 +3, right?
Yeah, that's what the perception says on the giant spider.
Natural 20.
Ah!
Nice.
Holy cow. So as you kind of look inside, you do spot that there are 2 standing cultists, 2 dragon claws. They position themselves about 30 feet inside the cave. They're staying sort of near the walls and the column. And they look like they're kind of on alert a little bit. And these look like one of the more sort of proper cultists that you've seen before, with that black leather arrangement, that full metal mask. They've got their hands on their scimitars, and they're just kind of like standing around, just kind of looking around.
Okay.
And the cave just kind of like winds over to the left from there.
I'm gonna try. I'll try to signal to my friends and just put up 2 little spider arms and be like, "There's 2 people," and I hope that they understand.
I'm gonna, as the 3 of you kind of look on and see the spider kind of creep down and then creep back up. Just putting 2 arms up like this, very hard to discern what exactly she's talking about or trying to signal to you.
It's like she's trying to speak to me. I know it.
I'm gonna have
You're really cute.
the 3 of you just make a general intelligence check for me.
Wait, who?
The 3 of you, Avery, Arlie, and Archeon.
Okay.
Not good. I got a 3.
3.
I'm sorry, I don't think I'm seeing this one.
Intelligence, it should just be up in the normal stats.
Yeah, the strength, dex,
Funny.
constitution, intelligence.
Yes.
Oh, there we go.
Arlie's the only one that understands me.
I got 5. I am stupid.
Yeah.
Arlie, what'd you get?
Archeon and I are just
20.
20. So Archeon and Avery, you're just staring at this Amara giant wolf spider, just little arms, like trying to conceal herself within the rocky ridge, just kind of peering out, and it's just like waving her 2 little front stick legs, just like waving them around. And you're just like, what the
We're
fuck?
just like, gross spiders.
Ew.
But Arlie, with your connection with nature and just the odd nature of Amara in general, you got a bit of a closer connection with her, as you're both sort of natural, nature-based creatures as well. You don't necessarily understand, like, there are 2 guards down there, but she's obviously saying, like, I found something, there's someone or something in there. Like, you get the sense that she's something important is within that cave entrance. Could be guards, could be what you're looking for. You just know something important is there. It gives you enough cause to know that, like, you wouldn't just rush, run in there, that you would proceed with caution.
Okay. Guys, she's saying she sees something or someone. So like, let's be careful. I don't know anything more. I don't know, but she probably sees something.
More than I got. Sorry. I'm just like just in the air.
And with that, we're going to camera pan over to our precarious Tabaxi here, who is now engaged in combat with 5 guards. Apollo, you got a 22. You did beat the guards in combat, so what do you want your first move to be?
Really quick, that off to my left, those trees right there next to the ledge, are they high enough that feasibly I could jump onto them from where I am?
To these ones?
Yeah.
You can certainly try.
Does Apollo think it's possible? That I don't want to do an impossible movement, you know?
It's not like 100 feet away. It's definitely within earshot.
Okay. I'm going to take one more shot at the guards. I'm going to go for one of the ones in the front this time because they're all looking at me. Or looking
These guys?
towards me. Yeah.
All right, so you will not get advantage on this.
Do they see me? Would I get advantage if they just...
They are alerted to your presence. They know you are over there now. They don't see you directly at this moment, but they know you're over there.
10.
You have given up your position to attack.
Yeah, to hit.
So once again, they're like, "Wait, I think he's over here. I think I saw him." You're like, "Fuck!" Ducks out of the way. King, king, king. Falls on the ground. He's over there. He's definitely over there. King, 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 king.
I'm gonna use my movement and jump to the trees and try and be as quiet as possible about it so they don't think I jumped into the trees.
So you use your action to attack. You can't use your action to jump anymore.
My movement should be able to.
So you could. So this is the thing. Moving, yes. Doing an action like jumping off something or using any kind of environment to your ways like that would be an action to do. Because moving down here it's a straight drop of 15 feet. If you wanted to just kind of like move off of it, like it's kind of a gray area. Usually when you're trying to do like any complicated feat of movement or jumping off, bouncing off a wall, that kind of thing. Depending on the situation, it's usually an action to do so.
Okay, would I be able...
Basically anything that would require like to make a skill check for in this instance.
Would I be able to jump and just kind of slide down the side, like go down the side of the hill stealthily? Like, because I still have the Pass Without Trace going, so I'm trying to let them know that I'm over here and then dip out. So when they're coming over here, they're still looking for me. They don't know immediately that I went down.
How about this? I will give you a chance to move kind of down the rocks because it is kind of a diagonal slant. You're not jumping off. You're just kind of trying to move down. It is difficult terrain, so your movement is halved. And I'm going to make you do a check to see if you trip and fall down the side and take fall damage. That's my
Sure.
counter.
I'll do it. And I'm going to pop Feline Agility so I get slightly more speed.
Yeah, so that double your movement?
Yeah.
So the difficult terrain would just be normalized then because it would be half your movement. But if you've already doubled it, that would be normal movement, if that makes sense.
And I have a bonus action left, which I could then use for another dash. Yeah, I'm going to do that. So Feline Agility and bonus action dash as well.
Okay. So roll stealth just because there are tons of them now starting to rush over to your position.
That's going to be a 35.
Natural 20.
What does that total out to, though?
I know, it's not. The total would be not even near 35. But I crit, which was pretty sick. So trying to make your way down here, no one notices you sort of leaving that rocky terrain, those high mountainous rocks, and start to make your way down. But as you're trying to make your way down that slope, the gravel is loose. It's starting to kind of slip as you're going down. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
9.
You start to make your way down. I think he's over here. Yeah, come on this way. You take your shot. He's definitely over here. Just shoot an arrow. Come on. Let's move. Fuck. You sort of look around. Not trying to give you away position. You just very carefully put your weight down on the ground. You're trying to just slide your way down this rocky terrain. Shit. And you fall as one of the rocks just gives way. You take this 15-foot drop, so it's 6 d6 per 5 feet.
cats always on their feet?
Does feline agility do anything?
Doubles your movement.
But cats always land on their feet.
Yeah.
So you are going to take 15 points of bludgeoning damage as you fall ass over tea kettle, and like some of the rocks that were kind of lodged into the side fall down as you create this makeshift rock slide and smack on the rocks on your way down.
Did you notice this?
I'm down.
Do you notice this? You're fairly far away. Arctran, you've got your telescope out. You definitely hear all the commotion and everything, so Arctran, make a perception at advantage there.
Perception. Let's see what we got here.
Oh, my bad. It's 1d6 for every 10 feet, not 5. So
I got 13.
that would have been 6 points of damage, Apollo, not 10.
Still up. I was about to say,
that changes a lot.
But regardless, I'm chuckling as I'm watching it with my telescope.
So yeah, you see Archeron, you see your friend Apollo like down by that mountainous terrain, just fall down on his ass and smack his head hard on the rocks down below. His back just hits the ground.
I'm assuming I don't get the rest of my movement.
Nope, that's it.
Yeah, so I'm just chilling down here. It's like that moment where I'm just like, yeah, okay.
Like Loki laying in like the smashed by the Loki's just like,
And
You're
after
not
that, the guards are gonna go. They'll get to go 30 feet. So they're making their way around here. So that's about as far as they can go. These guards start to make their way up the ridge. These guys are also making their way up the ridge, but they heard you fall down the side of the cavern. But they're still in the process of climbing, so they're not like over there and rushing towards you. They're kind of like halfway up, then saw you tumble down. And these guys over here are rushing over to you as well, coming through the tree line here. So after that, smash cut over to the four of you. Archeron, you looking through your viewfinder, you see him, he's fucked up, and now cultists are starting to go and surround him. What do you want to do?
oh man.
I did give
I
a
really-
thumbs up when I fell. I gave a thumbs up when I felt like as when I stopped moving, I just went.
Okay. I'm assuming he's going to use his feline agility and get the heck out of there. Running right through the camp is what I'm hoping. So he's not stupid.
I've used
So you used all your feline agility?
Unless it works as like I have to stand still for one whole turn to get it back.
Okay, but you can still double your movement just because.
Yeah.
Okay. Damn it. Every ounce of me wants to go down after him. Every ounce of me wants to double my movement, go right into the base, and just go save him, but it's stupid, and I really hope he can take care of himself.
Use a health potion around.
Yeah, remember you all have a health potion still that I don't think you've used.
I used mine on Arc.
Oh shit, that's right.
Your boy was DED dead.
What do you think, Arcturion? You can ask your friends as well for advice if you're rocking a hard place.
No, it's like I don't want to leave him and then he dies and then we're out a player. Like I don't want to.
We'll go to the depths of hell to get him back. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We'll revive him.
But we risk all of us in that whole mess.
But the thing is, if we do something, like most likely all of us are gonna get captured.
I'm fine.
I say we leave him. Have him just be stealthy and
love
try to
Arms.
get out of there.
I say screw him, man. Just let him die.
No. Okay, I love Apollo, but like, I don't think we should risk all of us right now. I think he just needs to be sneaky and try to get out of there and hide in the trees and then come around to us.
If I know Apollo, he can handle himself.
He's still got passed without a trace, right?
I do.
So
It's up for an hour, so he's got
yeah.
a couple chances to try and lose them, or just fucking run away to a different position, hide there, try to get out. They are wise to him now, so it's not going to be as easy as it would if they didn't know he was there, but there is still him being very fast as a tabaxi, that he's got a better chance than most.
My minimum in stealth right now is 19. That's the minimum. That's if I roll a natural 1. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm fine right now.
Okay.
And even if they chase you over here, like as long as we're all together, that's the best thing, I think.
Fine.
Apollo
can take care of himself. Let's get down there and get into that cave.
Okay, so making your way to the cave?
Yeah.
All right, so as Amara is kind of standing or curled up sort of near the entrance of the cave, you still got these guards who are kind of standing watch. I'll need all of you to make one final stealth check as you're trying to find just a quick position of them, just not looking at that cave, that you can just rush down and dart in.
26.
Nice.
No, it's 18 because it's 10 plus because you're still underneath the.
Pass
Oh,
that.
right.
You get the extra 10.
Yep.
24.
23.
So yeah, without question, especially after that Apollo like tumbled down, the guards and the drakes are just like standing at the ready, holding the drakes by a leash, kind of curled around the hands a couple times and just looking over in that direction, kind of like almost ready, like they're going to release the drakes at any moment to like go attack him if he comes their way. But you are all very easily able to just kind of like get down. As soon as you see that happen, you're like, go, 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 go. Just jump down and dart inside. And you've made your way into the entrance of this cave system. And as you do that, you're kind of peering behind the lip of that cave. As you kind of get inside, you can see those 2 guards that are about 30 feet inside that Omara told you about. They have not noticed you just yet, as you still your feet I cannot talk today, guys. As your footfalls are very muffled and not cracking on any stones or sticks, they don't hear you coming as they're kind of talking to themselves, and their backs are kind of towards the other end at the moment.
I did not know we were going down there. I wanted to stay up there. So I was getting a phone call. I got distracted. I wanted to stay up there because if we got to get out, I want to drop down a rope and help anybody out that I need to help out. So, yeah.
Okay.
That's because I'm expecting a swift retreat from this cave. So I would like to either that or I want to tie that rope around a tree and go down. Like I need some way to be able to back up.
I think that there's going to be a big battle in here and we may need you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm suggesting you come with us. I
don't think we should fight if those 2 cultist leaders are in there.
I don't think we're gonna have a choice.
That big blue dragon man. I'm sorry, but like he's gonna take us both out, and then we're all dead.
The thing is,
you have me.
he only fought 1 of you. He didn't fought 6 or 5 of you.
I'm also up 10 health points.
Yeah.
I feel like we're being
Don't take
set up
any
for a
damage.
battle.
Yes.
So.
But Avery, with your rope, you could like fasten it next to a tree and like.
Can I do that before I go down? Yeah. I just want to like so we get a way out if we got to get it out. All right, cool. Let's do that then.
Remember to tie those knots so it's easier to climb.
Yes, yeah. I tied those knots. I learned from Archeon earlier that's an easier way to do it.
Make a performance check to just see how well you get the knots tied up.
Crap.
Big old
6. Not very good.
What's your do you have proficiency in any tools or anything? I can't remember what you picked for that.
Yeah, I did have proficiency, but only in I think it was smith, so metal.
Metal. Okay.
I'm throwing
So,
metal,
yeah.
not in rope.
No worries. So you go to tie the rope. You don't have enough, like in this instance, you're doing this super quick. You don't have enough time to like tie all those knots and before all this shit kind of goes down. So you're able to kind of just wrap it around the tree trunk, tie it up, and just tie this rope or throw this rope down that kind of pedals against the rocks, but goes down the length of the side. So if you need a haste retreat, you do have that there to get back up here.
Okay, cool. Then I can rejoin. Yeah, that's
Okay.
I just wanted to do that beforehand. I got a call.
No. That's totally understandable, dude. So as you kind of go down with your friends and make it for that beeline, you're seeing the two guards kind of in the lip of the cave as you kind of go into the side entrance and kind of settle up next to the wall in a shadowed area so they don't see you exactly. But as that happens,
Okay.
oh, sorry, Achaidh, do you want to do something?
Just one little thing, because Amara had made note of this. If they saw Leonin and that girl go into the cave, what are those guys guarding in that big tent? It just piqued my curiosity. I'm making note of it.
It's
clear
true.
that they're still guarding the tent, yet the guys that they would technically needed to guard are in the cave. So I'm wondering if maybe the dragon eggs are not in the cave, they're in the tent, and they haven't brought the eggs into the cave yet.
Do you want to split up the group and go half and half? Because
I'm just saying, if Amara's we all have an incredible amount of stealth. If one of us could just peep in that tent and come back.
I can go. I can go look.
Are you
Do you
sure?
wanna go look?
Because I could
yeah.
climb like on top of this stuff and look too.
I will just say this.
Okay.
Looking at those guards, by this like way highly more important looking structure of a tent, a headquarter tent, if you will, they are not moving. They are staying their position, looking all directions. They're distracted a bit from what Apollo's doing right now, but they are very much like, out of all of the bandits and guards and cultists, they are the only group that has never left their position, that have been on the ready this whole entire time and are not moving or seemingly distracted by the rabble rousing as much as the others. So if you wanted to go check that out, you do have that inclination that like these guards are on high alert and it would be pretty
I'll go
hard
do
to
that
fast.
if I absolutely have to. If I gotta book it, I've got my rope and I have an action surge, and I can, use like double my movement and like get up the rope.
My gut says there's something in that tent. There's something that is
I'll go
way too
check.
important
How
that
many
caught my
people
attention.
are there?
4 plus 2 drakes.
I mean, we could go back to it.
But I'm just saying, if the eggs are in the tent, there's technically no real need to go into the cave.
I think we're gonna be forced into the cave anyway. But maybe we go after the tent first and all together.
Leos, I'm just going to remind you, Leosin did say he wants to know what's in the cave, not the tent. So technically, by fulfilling his request in the cave, that's just what he wanted to know. So
I mean, he was at the this camp for a while, so he probably knows what's in the tent. Maybe.
Wow,
I can run over there. We've got the +10 stealth, and I've got a +4 on stealth. So,
do you want to quickly just like open the tent, close the tent?
yeah, I'm just gonna peek under there if I can. Yeah.
I'll go with you.
Oh, it's okay. It's faster alone, further together. Let's go. I'm gonna go fast by myself. If I need help, you guys are right there. That way we're not risking 2 people rolling.
More people, more rolls.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm gonna go.
Okay, so Avery, are you? So instead of kind of rushing, let's say instead of rushing down again or you could be inside the lip of this cave as you kind of darted in there, passing by everybody. How are you gonna sort of get around, sort of going along? Like, I try to climb back up here and go down this way, or?
So there's this tent right
here.
Yeah, right here. And if I can sneak along the side here, hide behind the tent, and then go and look into the entrance, because these guys are not looking at the entrance from what I understood. These guys are looking at whatever commotion is happening over here with this tabaxi falling face first down a cliff.
Gracefully.
Graceful, but like in falling with style.
Thank you.
down a cliff.
Yeah, I will say their heads are directed over there somewhat at this moment, but they are still like looking all around. These are the most alert group out of everyone you've seen, so just keep
right. I mean, I think we had the +10, and the worst that I'm gonna get is a 14 on stealth. So that's if I roll a nat 1.
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm just gonna go for it and see if I can get it.
All right. You kind of saying good, sort of discussing this sort of inside that lip of the cave as you kind of made it there successfully. All right, I think what if like you're just talking amongst yourself, what if it's in a tent? Like this could be all for nothing. I'm gonna go there really quick. Just stay right here. And all this like rushed commotion and anxiety. Avery, kind of make your way out. You see them that they're like some of them are still looking over that way. So make a stealth check.
That would be a 28.
Whew. Okay. Yeah, they are all still looking that way over at Apollo. Do not notice you as you just swiftly just book it over, slide over beside that lower tent. That's more of like where the Drake, the Drake's homes are. It's a bit lower to the ground and a bit more like covered in dirt. And you just baseball slide over.
Scent a little bit, you know.
Yeah, it smells like raw meats and blood, and it just smells like really awful. But you baseball slide back there and just stop for a minute, just wait to see if any of them hear you, and you don't seem to hear any signs of them that they saw you. What's your next move?
Next move, I'm just gonna try to go and peek in the entrance. Let's see if I can see anything.
All right, make a perception check.
All right, perception. Ooh, 7.
Unfortunately, you kind of peer over to around the corner of this sort of small like doghouse, basically, and you look over and you see that the entrance to this headquarter camp, there are some leather curtains that are just shut at the entrance of it, so you can't make out what's inside. You hear some muffled voices inside, though.
Oh, I hear people inside too. Cool. Can I make a dark? Is the tent like just one of those like draped tents? Can I like go and look under the tent at all and just see if I can see anything?
So this one is a much more highly designed than the other ones. The other ones are just kind of like leather hides with just a stick in the ground, pulling it up and kind of hammered on all sides. Some of them kind of ripped and shredded. Some of them look a bit fancier. This one looks like the general of the camp's sort of tent. Like there's actual like posts up to make like sort of a proper entrance way. Right. Looks like there's been more attention to detail and comfortability for this tent. So you're looking around the sides and you see there's just pegs kind of hilted down to the dirt here. So it's not a simple like camping depth. They just flap up something and then flap it down.
Yeah, so can I look back to my friends and just be like I don't hear anything, or I don't see anything. Should I go?
So close? They are currently inside the lip of the cave.
They're in the lip of the cave, so they can't see me. Got you.
Yeah, right, you're out there solo right now.
Well, then I'm just gonna go ahead and can I get close enough to the tent that if I can try to listen in and see if I hear what anybody's saying.
So you made a perception check already.
Right. We're behind this tent though. What if I got like, is this like door open over here? But you said it's closed like through leather, so they're not looking out.
Yeah, so the entrance to that tent there's two like leather curtains that are kind of draped down, blocking the entrance. But as far as like checks go, you usually get one shot at each type. Otherwise, you could just like perception, you know what I mean? You could just keep doing it until you succeeded.
But if I move closer, would I be able to do it again?
At this point, yeah, that was kind of your chance to kind of go over there, stealth over, go over there, listen in. Unfortunately, that's about as close as you're gonna get. So you can try to,
then it's a bail. So I'm gonna run back to my friends.
Okay, so make another quick stealth check as you try to rush over and kind of time it.
1 second. Okay, that was a 27, and this was a 29, so 27.
Yeah, so they don't notice you as you're kind of like getting up in there, and you're looking. There's a short distance to the top. These guards are very close by, and you hear the gnarling gnashing of these drakes, just and you're just like, oh, do I risk it? Fuck it, this is too risky. This is too risky. Fuck it, and you just like wait for them to kind of look away and dart back over to the entrance of the cave with your friends.
Can I make a perception check on the guards to see like what kind of weapons they have?
We can, but as that happens, you're gonna smash cut over to Apollo, who is currently on the ground, covered in rocks. You got banged up pretty badly from like heavy bruising and cuts on your head from tumbling and smacking down. What do you want to do? As you can hear this guard troop, like they're seconds away from.
Just instantly, I would like to dash and go like kind of in between these tents next to me, and I want to end up here. I want to end up in these trees.
Okay.
But using the tents as like cover and stealth my like all fours, just stealth my way into those trees.
Yeah. You definitely roll stealth on that. You do notice that there are some guards up on this guard tower now, like overhead looking and surveying.
32.
But you can definitely try to bush it. God damn. Tabaxi bullshit.
I'm a rogue. It's what I'm good at.
Yeah, so they're kind of still in disarray. You could just see these cultists like climbing up the ladder, so they haven't quite gotten to their position just yet. But as you're just like, fuck this, dart over, sort of baseball slide over by the tent camp here as these cultists just start to come out of the tree line area. And you're going to book it to the tree line here?
Yeah, I want to get like in the middle of the trees. Like that's how much 60 feet kind of gets me, is like in the middle. And I just want to put myself in a position because I don't really have any more movement. But so the next possible time, I want to climb up in the tree. Like,
okay.
So I'm just kind of hiding myself from view. And then the next opportunity I get, I'm going to climb up in the tree.
Okay, sure. So you made your way over to the tree. Just make an athletics check for me, just to like jump up to the tree and get up there.
Can I flamboyantly do like somersault into maybe do a flip and then jump into the tree?
You want to try to Tarzan this shit, or you just jump on a limb and flip up? Yeah, I'll give you acrobatics on it.
Thank you. That was terrible. 14.
Yeah, so you rush over, kick up some dirt and dust. These guards have like lowered themselves from the wall and are on the ground now to try to get over to you. These guards are kind of up here. We're running over to your position, but you dart over here and try to get yourself lost in the trees.
Yeah. But
it's still like an opening. They saw you fall. So they're not just like, you just teleported into a puff of smoke. Where did he go? They know you went. They know you went in that direction, but they're just slow to react.
They don't have any firefighters to get the cat out of the tree. So they're
this is my hope here is that they stay kind of searching that area over there at least for like kind of one more turn, and then.
So you are just like 2 steps ahead of these dudes due to your speed. So like imagine like Flash running and everyone's just in slow motion as you're walking normally. They noticed you fall. They saw this black blur just kind of dart over from the tents into the tree line. So you just kind of see them. They're running over to there and kind of running over to the tree. But they, we'll get to that where we can. But right now you've darted over there. These cultists are on the ground. They're starting to rush over into the center part here. These guys are rushing over here as well. So you are, and then we're going to do these guys here.
They better, I want to see one of those guys fall down that cliff. For Apollo's pride. This is like, I'm not the only one who's going to fall down here.
So they're going to go down there. They're going to make dex saves. Nice. Damn. Nice. No! Fell off the tree.
Just like they did.
Nice. Okay, so 3 are going to fail, and 2 are going to succeed. So they're going to take 7. The 3 that fail take 7 points of bludgeoning as they all start to get down, and some of them are able to kind of go with the inertia and kind of get down in the shale ground and get on the ground. But the 3 of them behind them just with the one in the far back kind of trips and tumbles to the other 3, and they fall down, and a few of them hit their head in the rocks as well, and they look pretty banged up. But they are all now at the base here.
My next move, I'm not going to go up in the tree. I'm going to try and get over to these trees. Like, I'm switching tree lines.
So you didn't want to do you did your whole action to pop up there, though.
No, I didn't. Or wait, I had it. Oh, I did have an action left. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
So
use your acrobatics to
Okay.
tumble your web. So right now you're currently up in the treetop there.
And they don't know I'm here because of the stealth. So there's no one like.
So the thing is, because
they know I'm over here. Like they last saw me, but they don't know. They didn't know.
So the mechanic with stealth,
yes,
usually works like this. You stealth, you succeed, no one notices you. You stealth, you succeed, no one notices you. You hit a trap, you make a lot of noise, people know you're there. Oh fuck, you get to your feet, you stealth again, but it's not like a smoke bomb and they don't have any clue where you are. They saw you run into that tree.
Okay.
They know you're in the tree somewhere, so they're going to they're currently like gathering themselves up and making their way over there. You can try to stealth to hide yourself within the tree line and maybe just like hide within the bushes and like, I don't fucking see him, to be able to try to attack on you. That might be disadvantaged. But at a certain point, stealthing doesn't just mean you ninja disappear. Okay. It means that they can catch on to kind of where you are. You can try to like hide and get lost in the shrubbery or in the environment around you. The DC starts to raise, higher and higher and higher for you to kind of like continuously hide from them, and they get, more advantage on perception and trying to find you as soon as they, once there's only so many times you can kind of give up your position before they're like, oh shit, I saw him go over there. And then it's once you kind of start to get a bit of a leeway on them and get like total cover, that you've like left their line of sight in the tree line or in the mountain terrain, able to hide your track, you know what I mean? So it becomes easier that way. But in this current like close quarters position, once you've kind of revealed where you are, they're able to at least have a sense of like where you're going.
Okay, I got you. Okay. So it's my turn now?
Yeah, I'm gonna let you go again at this point.
Okay. All right, I'm going to risk it while they're still kind of grouping up, and I'm going to kind of drop down again and...
Yeah, I'm going to give you this chance to try to see if you can make your way over to the cave system, basically.
Yeah, so I want to take kind of the wider, because it looks like I'd have more cover if I kind of went this way first and then cut over.
Yeah.
So I want to kind of do that. So kind of drop down while these guys are still gathering up, and then make my way to these trees first. And then just with, do I use an action to get back down?
Yeah, so it would be a check to see if you can land and not fall and hurt yourself and go prone.
Okay, yeah, I have to. There's no I have to do that then, and then use my movement over there.
Okay, so this is going to be athletics because you can't half gainer acrobat off this
I can't flip off the tree.
No, for a thing like this is athletics. To jump from somewhere and try to land is an athletics skill check.
It's a straight roll to do. Okay, all right. Come on, dice. Why? 5.
So you they're like, gotta book it. Able to get around here, but you just miss the mark as you leap from the branch. It kicks off. 2 points of bludgeoning damage as you smack and hit the ground, and you are currently prone.
So it takes a full movement to get up, doesn't it?
It does.
So I would still have 30 feet then if I pop my bonus action dash.
So you can use the rest of your movement to stand up.
Yeah, and then
bonus action dash.
Dash 30 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can do that. So that is, so you said I'm there. Okay. Yeah.
Don't die.
I'm just trying to get out of here. I'm running now.
No, you're trying to get out of here by doing.
Well, I did.
Trees.
This is panic moment. I'm gonna go into the trees. So that's like what? That gets me about here. 35. It gets me like here. Do I have to roll stealth again? There's those guys in the watchtower.
I rolled perception for the various groups over here. They definitely saw you hit the ground and then rush over. These guys up here too also saw you up in the guard tower, and they're starting to direct traffic. They're like, "We saw him! He went over there in the tree line over there! Over there!" The four of you, Avery, Amara, Arlie, and Archeon, have you all make perception checks really quick.
Do I get at advantage? Question mark?
This isn't with the viewfinder.
Oh, I've got one. The line is, it was almost a natural.
18.
So Avery, you got 14. Arlie, 17.
I got 14.
14. Amara. Okay, so Archeon, unfortunately, you're just like sort of focused ahead down the cave system, trying to figure out what the next move is. You're kind of busy concentrating on that. The three of you hear these faint, muffled voices outside of the cave entrance of the mouth of the cave. Just he's over there! I see him! You just hear all the commotion of Apollo running from place to place and guards chasing him outside.
I don't know what to do. We cannot bring them into the cave because then we'll get straight up sandwiched. If
we have to trust him. We have to trust to let him do his thing.
So at this point, I'm going to change the camera over to Amara, Avery, Arlie, and Archeon for a minute, as we're going to change the map here on Roll20 super quickly.
I'm going to run to the bathroom.
It's just an opening. There's no, okay. I was like, where's the rest of it?
Yeah, so, but with you able to do that preliminary run inside, so I'm just gonna hide Apollo here. And Amara, you're still that giant spider, correct?
Yes, and I'm just dangling on the ceiling, like crawling.
Spider-Man style.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna get your spider token here. Do. Over there. So you camouflage really well into this cave already. So just so you can see yourself, I'll just put you there.
Sure.
So you're both kind of on the different lips of this cave, but you did do that preliminary work inside. So I'm going to reveal this a little bit to you. So this is kind of what you spotted inside. Two of the cultists that are inside that were kind of guarding and looking around. They since have now moved around here, as they're kind of in this point, just like talking to each other about what's going on inside and kind of like discussing themselves like, oh my God, what if they come here? What do we do? Do we kind of like flank out? Or do we hide behind these columns? And they're just discussing to themselves what their tactics are going to be if you decide to come in here.
Can I roll for perception for what weapons they have?
Yeah, sure. 12. That's good enough. You notice that they're both holding those curved scimitars that you noticed that some of the cultists were holding in your previous encounters. Kind of like one side's kind of a short blade, it kind of twists in a circular side here, another one's much longer and curves on the other.
I don't know quite what the wolf spider's abilities are. If I were to go up and just like slightly distract the guards, we should be able to go down and just like Spider-Man tie him up.
So just so I don't know, well, with you having a good sort of background with being like a fighter in nature. I could give you this little mulligan, but the wolf spiders, they have one attack and it's bite. They can climb on the walls and things, but they don't have like web attacks where they can like ensnare people or string them up
and then pull them up. Yeah, no.
I mean, my bite is really strong, so I do a hit point, and then if they do a Constitution saving throw, and if they pass it, then I don't do poison damage. But if they don't pass it, then I do poison damage addition to my hit on them.
Yeah, so her bite has the potential to do 3d6 damage if they fail the con save.
Oh, okay. So, Amara, do you and I want to go over there and just club him over the head?
Spider's just gonna nod and happily.
I could also do like a ranged attack.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, I also have a javelin too.
They don't notice you guys there, so you will have a surprise round if you just want to all just fire on them all.
I think that the ranged people should go ahead and javelin and bow at the same time that Amara and I go in and get them. So that way, because I don't have any ranged attacks.
I was about to ask if you had a bow, but I couldn't remember.
I don't have a bow. I have 2 hand
axes that you could throw.
But I feel like your javelin would do more damage.
Yeah, my javelin's got 30 feet too.
Yeah, versus my hand axes, which have.
But you all can attack at the same time too. You don't really have to the spear might do more damage than your hand axe, but the spear plus a hand axe would do also a lot of damage. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's up to you. You don't have to really conserve, because when you throw the hand axe, it hits a target and it lands kind of next to them. But it does, in this instance, you won't have to be like, oh, you do your hit, it's more damage. It's like if you all hit, it'll do even more damage. You know what I mean?
I say that we should do that. I say that that Arlie, you use your bow here. Amara, let's go bite. Archeon, I guess you can also run up with us and use either your you have an axe, right?
I have.
You got a whole.
I've got it already.
Javelin, light hammer, warhammer.
You use whichever weapon you spin on your Wheel of Fortune wheel to use.
All right.
And my mitts.
Yeah. And I do. I literally have like my tail, my claws, everything. Yeah.
Yeah. So you can use that, and then we're just all just gonna go in and knock these 2 out.
Okay. So do you want to do range attacks, or do you want to go right up to them?
I say we go up to them. We've got stealth too, so we could probably sneak up to them as well, hopefully, if they're talking, and then Arlie can with a bow.
Yeah, just leave me in charge of one of them, and then you guys get the other one.
Yep.
I think we should do 2 and 2 though, because that way we.
Yeah, but I'm about to destroy one of these, so I'm gonna use my bow and also my swarm. So I'm basically 2 attacks in one.
All right, well, let's do it then.
Okay.
So we'll take the right ones, and Arlie can take the left one.
Yes, sir.
Just herself.
All right, who wants to go first?
Do we roll for initiative?
At this point, it's a sneak attack round, so you might not have to go into initiative if you just knock them out.
Yeah, so we're just going to knock them out. All right. I'll go first, sure. I'm going to use my short sword.
So you're going to attempt to sneak up on this guy first?
Yes. So stealth, right?
Yeah, so do a stealth check just so you can kind of creep up as they're kind of like talking to each other. Their backs are currently just kind of turned towards your presence at the moment.
17.
17. Okay, so you're going to move towards them?
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm going to get within like striking distance, which is short sword's 5 feet to reach. So I'm going to get up behind them while they're talking.
As you get half the way there, you get to about here. Step on a rock. He rolled a 17 for perception.
Oh,
as soon as you turn around and go, holy shit! Puts up a sword. I need you all to roll initiative.
Wait, can I also roll stealth, or would it just like?
It's so the sneak attack works like this. You can attempt to sneak attack on somebody. If they're kind of on alert, roll perception. If the one person initiates the first move in the sneak attack, if they're found out, it's like no one's going to be able to sneak up on them.
Okay.
All right, I got a 24 for initiative.
Oh, nice.
I don't really know how to roll for my spider in terms of initiative.
Sorry, I got 20.
For the initiative, so roll a d20, and I believe it's your dex. So I think it's +3 for you.
Okay, 11.
Okay, 11. Okay. So we'll go down the line here. So 25 to 20.
Me and Ark.
21.
Bring Ark. 24 and 21.
Okay.
21.
So Avery and Arctreon. 15 to 10. Or 20 to 15, sorry.
I got 18.
18 for Arlie. Sorry, 18 you said?
Yeah.
Okay. And 15 to 10, Amara?
Yeah, 11.
Okay. So even with them kind of turning around and seeing you there, Avery, you don't even care. You're running towards them. They just, oh! And then before they're even able to like shout down the cavern, like, holy shit, they're just like suddenly surprised from you just running at them. So you're going to get the first hit here.
Right, I'm going to use my short sword, which is a 15 to hit.
So you're going to hit this guy right here?
Yes.
Yeah, 15 hits, roll damage.
Yeah, it's a 7 damage.
7 damage, okay.
But I have 2-weapon fighting, right?
Yeah, so you can use your hand axe to the second hit. Just don't add the modifier.
So to hit, that is a 8.
Fortunately, misses as you kind of rush up to him, take out your longsword. Holy shit! And before they get their scimitars out, you kind of parry one of their scimitars from getting out of the sheath. King! They just knock up with the elbow, slash through the chest with your longsword. Take out your hand axe, kind of flip it in the air, grab by the handle, and go for a slash, but just backs out of the way, kind of clunking into the person behind him, but you missed with that second swipe. Anything else you'd like to do?
At that point, I think I'm going to end my turn because I don't want to use any of my other abilities just yet, just in case.
Maybe like move back.
So the thing, if you're within 5 feet of range of an enemy, when you move away from them, they will get an opportunity attack to hit you.
Oh, never mind.
Just so you're aware.
No, I'm good. Because Ark's coming right behind me.
Oh, is he ever? Arctreon, you're up, my friend.
Yes, sir. I all of a sudden can't move my...
Oh, wait. Happens every time. There we go. Boop.
Okay. Now, am I able to just straight up move up to this guy, or do I have to use my movement because we are in combat?
So you are in combat now, so you would go by your movement from your
Okay.
character sheet.
Okay. So I might just be able to go 5, 10, 15, 20. Can I go diagonally? Does that work? I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah, okay. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25.
This thing here is just kind of like a big stone column in the middle, so you can just rush right past it.
Okay. Since I'm already here, I'm going to go after the same guy that Avery already cleaned.
Sure.
But I'm going to use my one-handed war axe, or my war hammer, just so I can use my two-handed. So, first swing, 13.
That'll hit. Roll damage.
That is a 3 damage.
So as Avery kind of brings out his longsword, stops that scimitar from getting out of the sheath, slash across the chest, ducks in, swings with a hand axe, misses him. That one guard just like bumps to his friend, goes, oh my God, like that was a close one. Then out of nowhere, this huge Leonin muscly figure, Gallagher's his head into his clavicle, just buries his neck into his chest, falls down. The other guard is just frightened as he just concaved his friend's head into his own body. He is definitely freaking dead.
Yes.
As you move on to the next.
Yes. So So I can still use my two-handed. Can I use my second attack to attack the other guy, or does it still have to be the same person?
No. So if you have 2-weapon fighting, you can use that other attack to try to hit another person.
Okay. Can I use? Wait, hold it. Oh, I'll just use my light hammer then. Yeah, I'll just use my light hammer because that's another one-handed weapon.
So you're currently 5 feet away from him. So you're gonna throw it, or just move up to him?
I don't think I can move up to it, right? Because I'm out of movement.
Right. So you'd have to throw it at him.
Okay, so I'm
enable
gonna
to.
throw my light hammer. It's 19 to hit.
That'll hit. Roll damage.
Light hammer, and he gets a brisky 3.
Brisky 3. Okay.
So just a light. It's a light hammer, so it's just a light little tap. A light.
So as it happens,
that hits him.
You go down and just two-handed overhand strike, cave in. That calls his head into his body, falls over. You reach into your pouch with your like little light hammer. You just throw it point blank range into his nose, and the blood starts flowing down. And it just has his hand in his face. What else would you like to do?
That's basically, I can't really do.
All right, and you heard a loud crunch too when you threw that pole bang hammer right into his face, so you hit direct hit. After that, we come to Arlie.
All right. I'm gonna just go ahead and use my longbow on that guy.
All right.
As well as the swarm. I assume that I have to use the swarm after, but I'm just double checking.
The swarm, yeah, it coincides with an attack. So Arlie, as you're kind of staying behind, seeing all this happen, that sort of energy starts to bolster inside of you as your adrenaline just starts to spike, and then you start to see all these ethereal sort of energy starts to form around you in the form of multiple little birds that start to tweet around you and just start to float and kind of start landing on your antlers and on your shoulder and on your head. And they're in this kind of like vibrant ultraviolet sort of coloration of like colors of the rainbow, basically. Like if a bubble kind of shone in the sunlight, you're seeing just waves of like purple and pinks and blues. They're kind of shimmering down beside you.
Okay, so I'll pull out my longbow here. Got a 22 to hit.
That'll hit.
Got 7 damage, and then the swarm does 1d6 piercing damage.
1d6. Yeah, you can roll all that damage if you like.
Roll. And 3. So 10 total damage.
10 total damage. So as you throw that ping ball hammer right into his nose, son of a... He just gets super angry, and he's lifting his scimitar out of his sheath as Avery and Arctron, you're just like readying yourself like this guy's about to just get so owned. And you see this, you hear this, the sound of his arrow whistle past both of your heads like really close. It just shoots like right between your ears into his throat, digs deep down, kind of an angle. And he's almost gets taken aback as he falls back a couple feet, and then you just hear the swarm of hummingbirds, like multiple darts, just as their long pointed noses just dig into the chest of this dude, as like 8 or 10 of them just and then you just see all these little hummingbirds just take out their little snouts out of his chest, tweet 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 tweet. And just like fly back past your heads. You look back, and these ethereal, sort of spiritualistic birds just start to fly over and land back on Arlie's form.
Did he die?
Oh, he did.
Okay.
So that'll end combat there. So unfortunately, Amar, you did not get your chance in there, but you can. I'll let you move up towards them if you liked, or if you wanted to try to kind of crawl along the cavern walls here and keep to the side. You're welcome to do that as well.
Standing there looking pretty that round.
Yeah. I was grooming myself as a spider.
Yeah.
Eating another burrito.
Yeah.
Gotta go.
Burritos.
I found it on the floor.
Burritos?
But as you have finished that, as those hummingbirds just dart themselves into the chest of the cultist, we will camera swipe over to our favorite Tabaxi rogue, as I'm going to change the map here once more.
Oh, Apollo.
Over to Apollo, currently in the tree line, hiding from these cultists. So you had fallen on the ground, scurried your way over to the trees over here, and that was the end of your turn.
Uh-huh.
And so all of these guys are starting to beeline over here. So they'll all start to make their way over towards you as they're trying to run and catch up. But that's about as far as they can get. Let's see. I think I can get a bit closer. Okay, so that's about as far as they can go there. So that's about them for them. What would you like to do?
I gotta just keep going. I gotta keep trying to just stealthily just make my way out of there. There's nothing else I can do. This is just hoping.
So you went to the tree line here. You didn't climb up the tree or anything.
No,
you notice that you are this tree line is kind of nestled in amongst this mountain terrain over here. So it's up to you on how you'd like to proceed.
I don't think I want to try and climb anything else. That has not been going well for me tonight. So I want to use these tents and kind of, 60 feet will get me just to the back corner of this big tent right here. So if I can do that and try and get over there unseen as much as that is possible, I don't know. I'm still just hoping. Like Apollo's just death, like adrenaline mode, just like.
So at this point, just because of all the commotion, they've seen you a few times now. I'm gonna have you roll stealth at disadvantage, because at this point, it's like, it's sort of using stealth to be like, they can't see me. They're very much on to you now.
31.
31. I know. As a Tabaxi, I'm like, it won't do much, but a boy could dream. So you're able to sort of make your way in here, and they're all sort of rushing over to that area. But again, you're kind of out behind these trees. Again, just trying to dart over there as fast as you can. They're all adrenaline rush too. Again, they know that you're around this area, but you're trying to best to kind of dart around and try to confuse them.
My goal is to get into the cave without them seeing me go into the cave, so they don't all pack into the cave. That's what I'm.
So currently, is that the end of your turn?
If that's it, I'm gonna use my action for another dash, and I'm gonna make another 35 over to the cave.
Try to make it to the
30. Well, it's 30 feet, so.
I'd say I'd let you make it. You're like right next to it.
If I can just book it with my last action, use dash, get into the cave.
Sure, we can do that. Roll one more stealth, just in case you nat one.
At disadvantage?
Yeah.
Natural 1?
No!
Oh, that's 19. You had to say it.
That's going to be an automatic fail on that check, my dude. So as you are rushing over, it had to happen eventually.
Oh, no.
So all of these guards are kind of rushing over to this area over here that they saw you on, and you're just so fast, so inept. You're trying your best to kind of confuse them and just rush to all these different places. So they're very much like several steps behind you. But as you kind of make your way over there, you get to about here, and there are guards up on top of this ridge over here. that situated themselves up, and they spot you darting from the top, and they all start to smack their armor. He's here! He's here! He's over here!
Would it be possible? Here's my thing, because they're just inside the entrance, right?
They're just inside there, but as they see you, as they shout that from over there, these guards that have been standing here look over, and they just see you trying to sneak past the tent with their drakes.
Heard them yell?
Roll. You are engaged in combat as this is happening, so I'll have you all roll perception at disadvantage, just because you are very much preoccupied with something in front of you right now.
Would the combat not have just ended?
So this is happening as you are in combat.
22.
Oh, okay.
22.
Perception.
So what does that mean with disadvantage?
That means you roll twice, take the lower amount.
Okay.
Like with advantage, you'd roll twice and take the higher. Disadvantage, you roll
Nat
twice and take
20.
the lower. Oh my god! At disadvantage, you got nothing lower than
Oh,
a
wait,
nat
sorry.
20. Yeah,
My lower one was 16. Dang it, disadvantage.
that's
Got
still
a
not bad.
9.
9. And Avery, disadvantage, you got 22.
I got a 23 and a 22.
Jeez.
Nice.
So after you're sort of battling and that last shot kind of nails that dude with the hummingbirds darting into his chest, you suddenly just, as that ends, you hear this more clanging on metal. The Tabaxi's right here! He's right behind you! And you can hear it because it's closer to you, like by the lip of the cave. So that sound is very much prevalent to you. And then you hear the gnashing of the guard drakes that are by that tent. And they're like, easy, easy, we're gonna get him, boys. It's time for us to go to work. And the guards are now with the drakes going over to you, Apollo.
Question. Could I get off the rest of my movement to put myself in front of the...
Yeah, so you made it to that end, but they see you at the lip of the cave, and they are coming for you.
Can I see into the cave?
From there, you can kind of peek around, and you can see Arlie, Avery, Amara, and Artreon all in there.
All right. This is very risky, but I'm like, can I get some drive-by healing from Amara? Can I just
She is currently in her spider form. For her to heal, she would have to give up her wild shape.
She still understands me though. Yeah, with just somewhat.
Arlie can heal. Yeah.
Yeah. Just can I just kind of in there just healing, just panicked like in the thing and see if I can get some healing. Because if I can get enough healing to just top me off a little bit,
Or
I can.
since I rolled that 22, could I just like this tabaxi over here and just like take my health potion and just roll it out the cave for him so he can run by and grab it?
I'll say, so you're a few distance apart. He's kind of, and you see him just kind of poke from behind the lip of the cave, just exhausted, just out of breath. He's like, if you have your health potion, you're like, fuck it, here. Toss it over. Make an athletics check really quick to see if you throw it onto him or if it fails and smashes on the ground.
Got a 7.
Apollo, make a dex check really quick to see if you can jump and catch it.
Please.
Lick it up off the ground,
15.
Apollo.
Avery, you just kind of sort of out of breath in the current battle that you did. This is all just super anxiety filled. You're trying your best, like fuck. You just kind of shorthand it, and it looks like it's about to fall onto the ground and break. And Apollo just belly rolls onto the gravel and scratches up his body, but just grabs it just in time before it falls on the ground. So you did catch that potion.
Healing spells as well is good.
Yeah, how much healing does the potion do?
A regular potion does 2d4 plus 4 healing, I believe.
Okay.
That should heal him up pretty good,
Yeah.
Yeah, for him, yeah.
Use the potion, see how much it does for you. And if
Is
you
it
get
gonna
stuck-
take me an action to use it though, or can I just pop it immediately?
I do health potions as bonus actions, so you can use it as a bonus action to heal yourself.
I've already used my bonus action to dash over.
That's correct. So you can't do that right now, but you have the health potion in your position. But as those guards see you, I need you to roll initiative again.
26 initiative.
26. You fast motherfucker.
Fast.
Gotta go fast. I gotta go
Speed.
fast.
I am speed.
Just like zooming around.
Would it be smart for me to use a Cure Wounds spell now, or would I have to wait till my turn anyway?
So this is the thing. He just did the action. He threw it there. We're about to go to initiative with Apollo. You guys, the guards have not seen you yet. You're still hidden within the cave. You see him at a distance, but left the cave. If you wanted to try to do a healing spell, this would be the moment.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do that.
Okay.
I have Cure Wounds. It says I have to touch him.
Yeah, so it is a touch spell. So you would have to get up to him at the lip of the cave and press a hand on him. The guards are making their way over to him right now, and you can kind of hear the commotion of them getting close. So there is a chance that if you go up to him and touch him, they may see you and your friends may be revealed.
So can I like stealth run over to him and do that?
If we get seen and we're in this cave, we're dead, and we have to run up that rope. That is my thing, because we're going to be attacked on both sides, and we're gonna. This is already risky with Apollo over here.
Unless you have
He's got that potion. I think that we've
but
done.
he can't use it though because
not yet, but he has a 26
round,
initiative, so he can pop it
So
and go. He's
we're
good.
gonna roll initiative. He got 23. Most likely he'll go first anyway. So on when we start the battle, he'll probably just bonus action chug that thing right away and get the healing. Yeah.
I thought he
I
was
don't
gonna
wanna
roll
reveal
initiative and possibly lose and then just die.
Anything's possible.
Yeah.
He got like 26 or something. So
So most likely he will go first and be able to get that potion in before he does the rest of his turn.
Okay.
Just so you're aware.
But then,
Okay.
right? Right, guys?
Yeah, don't do it because it's.
I'm sure if I
It's
die
like
this many
captain.
devils, I could appease.
Welcome to stressful D&D. This is why we play the game.
If
we
you
get
really
seen
wanted,
as
you
the-
could throw your thing too. Maybe at Cole.
I don't know. I think he's got a full health potion.
Another
That
health
should heal
potion.
him
Well-
close to full.
Yeah.
I could probably, I could keep running. That's the thing. If I get hit again, then I can just pop another health potion. It's
But
very
yeah.
much.
But
Like-
we're gonna have to like Captain Jack Sparrow on the beach running away.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what it's been this whole time.
Yeah.
He has been very Jack Sparrow-y this whole fucking first half of the game. Apollo, what was your initiative?
26.
I got a nat 20 on my initiative. I was like, you're so lucky you're still ahead. But I was like, they got 23. So they are going to go after you, but you are going to go first. What would you like to do, friend?
Bonus action heal. Bonus action the potion. That's 2d4, right? Plus 4?
2d4 plus 4, correct.
Okay. So 9 healing, which gets me. It's good. Okay, and then you said that's bonus action. Okay, so I'm gonna. Where's my ruler? Where's my ruler? All right. Okay. And is it gonna use an action if I try and get up the rocks again?
It would be a skill check to get up the rocks. Yeah.
I've also dropped that rope over there by the cave.
Why
Would
don't
I
you
be
just come
able?
to the cave with us?
Well,
So you use your bonus action to do the potion. You
Yeah.
could use the rest of your movement, get up the rope, use your action to climb it, and then get up there.
well, where is if the rope is right next to the cave? My worry is that they're gonna see me go up the rope and then they're gonna cut it, and you guys don't have a way out.
Oh.
I'm a spider.
Okay, but the rope is also closer, so I would have a little bit more movement afterwards to go.
Yeah.
Sorry, why are you not coming into the cave with us?
Because
Because he doesn't want to lead
everyone
he doesn't want to lead everyone inside.
I have about the
Everyone-
entire camp following me right now.
He's literally the Jack Sparrow on the beach running from everybody, and he was going to lead them right into the cave.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I was gonna just see if we could like knock down the pillar and completely like
Lock us in.
off. I was. Yeah,
We don't have a way out.
we don't know that.
I don't want to risk it.
Listen, I was gonna mine Zamoria this whole thing and just have the floor collapse.
I mean, in the world of D&D, does it sound pretty sick? Yeah, it sounds pretty sick. Yeah, it was probably fun. I mean, just so you know, this whole game is like the successes and the failures of this game sometimes fall upon the most weirdest and most out there idea that you just take your shot, and sometimes it fucking is the best thing you could ever do. So I'm not saying it'll be good or bad, I'm being neutral about it, but just know that like out of the box ideas like that sometimes can be the saving grace of a whole situation. So just keep that in mind.
Just like for flavor's sake, if I look into the cave, are any of them beckoning for me to go in there?
That's up to them to say. That's up to you guys right now. You're acting on seconds of emotion and heightened adrenaline and combat prowess and expertise. You see Apollo in the front of the cave. You hear the Drake guards and the guards coming towards you. Fuck! You threw him the health potion, fell on the ground, just grabbed it, and now he's just looking to all like, what the fuck? What do you want? What should I like? Signal to you like, should I get them away or what's going on?
I think you should go and climb up and try to hide in the trees or something, because you're still pretty stealthy. And then maybe make your way back around. I don't know.
They know too much.
I've said my piece.
Yeah, do I get any bonuses for going to the rope instead of just climbing up the side?
You'll get the skill at advantage.
Okay, I'm just gonna go for the rope 10 feet away and go up the rope. I'm assuming with my action.
Yep. So from there, you have your movement.
That's
Eden, what was your plan?
I kind of like Aiden's idea.
Like come to the cave, and we smack at that entrance, and hopefully it just crumbles and closes that whole cave entrance in.
Yeah.
Yeah. His idea was to get Apollo inside the cave. There's a notable kind of rock column coming from the ground up to the ceiling, and the cave kind of jettisons from the entrance, kind of dips down 15 feet. So what he wants to do is just smack that stone column and just cave in the entrance to this place, making sure no one else can kind of come in after you, but locking you inside with whatever could be in here.
With the leaders that we know are in there.
I can take it.
I like that. I like that idea.
I am ready.
Yeah, we could kill them.
I do like the idea of all of us being back together.
And I want, like, in all seriousness, I want Cole to be able to play with us. So that's the big
Yeah.
thing. So yeah.
All right, Cole.
Apollo's trying to save your lives here.
I fucking love this idea, by the way.
God damn it! I'm gonna assume I did like. I turn in and I'm looking, and I just make eye contact with Ark, and he just looks at he just points to the pillar and goes, and
Hulk smash!
all right, and I'm gonna go into the cave, I guess, in my movement. I have an action.
I yell out to Apollo, "Here, kitty, kitty."
Apollo's second guess is coming into the cave.
You guys are trying to kind of keep your voices down as, you know, the cave kind of echoes in. But as he's just signaling, you kind of are all trying to decide what to do. And you see Archeron just look over to that rock column. And he starts to like signal you, and just to get that hammer up, and starts making his way towards the stone column. Signals over to the rest of the group. Break this fucking thing down. They can't come in if there's no way to get inside.
I'm gonna go with Ark just to make sure that if anyone sees, they'll just see a giant wolf spider and kind of assume that like I'll kill them.
Oh yeah, look
so I'm gonna help.
Possible.
Yeah, I'm gonna help to like knock it.
Hold on. I would prefer if Avery were to come with me on this one.
I need to go and knock it down with strength.
You can all have an opportunity to hit this thing, by the way.
Okay.
So this thing is gonna have you won't need you'll roll to hit just in case you roll an out one and miss on a swing or anything like that. It is stationary. It's a rock formation, so it has like a little bit of an AC just because it's a rock. But you'll be able to hit it. Don't worry, unless you roll extremely low and just like swipe and miss. But it has a little bit of HP just for its standing. So this will be you like chopping a piece of wood down. You're trying to chop the tree down before the guards get inside. So before this happens, though, Apollo, you can finish your movement here.
I still have an action in my movement left, right?
Correct. You haven't so far. You've not moved from your spot with your turn.
question, just because I'm not 100% sure if this would be in my forte if I could do this, but would it be possible to, with my action, shoot a flaming arrow if I combine my, because I have like a flask of oil and I'm sure I can find fabric or something to tie to the end, but I just want to be able to shoot a flaming arrow.
So in this instance, doing things like that, it would use your action to dip the arrow, light the thing on fire, and then you'd have to wait your next turn to shoot it.
Okay, just checking. Then I'm just gonna take a shot at one of the drakes in the front. I'm gonna take a short bow attack, and then I'm gonna duck into the cave.
Okay, trying to hit one of the drakes first. Roll to hit.
16.
16 does hit. Roll damage.
That is 7.
7. So as you're kind of like, Archeron's like, get this hammer down. We're gonna trap them inside. Get the fuck out of here! And he just like shouting that to you as the rest of them are kind of getting their weapons ready for whatever's about to happen. You just want to leave them with a little bit of a Jack Sparrow sign off as you take your short bow. Fuck these guys. Shoot the arrow. Scrapes part of the drake's armored hide because it's got this sort of dragon kind of DNA sort of thing about it. It scratches the drake's scale. It made a bit of a scratch. Not much damage though.
Scary. I'm gonna go in the cave.
There's one drake just, and they all just start rushing towards you with their drakes. So you rush inside. I'm gonna have the rest of you now roll initiative to see where you are in this lineup, because those guards did roll a high initiative. So we'll see if you are able to kind of enact this before they get closer. Well, actually, hold on, let me see. Oh, actually, even with their movement, they wouldn't be able to get inside the cave to you on their turn. So on their turn, they're just like booking it towards the cave entrance, and they're getting very close. They're at like the entrance of the cave. You're a few more feet inside where that column is.
Okay.
All of you, so Omara, Avery, Arlie, Archeron, all roll to smash this thing and see what the damage is. This is going to be a group check on all of you to see if you can knock down this column.
Okay.
Before they're able to reach up to you. You just see them running with these just carnivorous, just like jaw gnashing guard drakes just rushing and trying to run in at you.
What would I be rolling?
So you would be using your bite.
Okay.
So I got a nat 20 to hit.
Oh!
I got 19.
19.
Got a 7.
16.
16. So you all hit. The AC for this thing is like 5. It's just a standing rock. But so you do make a dent in it, Avery, with your sword. Arlie, you got a crit, so you can double the damage on that once you've rolled it all.
Okay.
So everyone, you all hit the thing, so roll your damage to see if you can crack this thing down before they come to you.
So I rolled a 9. It says crit, but then I doubled that, so it's 18.
Yep.
Okay.
So let me just do the math here. So 18 for Arlie. Oh man, even I'm nervous. Okay, 18 for Arlie. Archeon?
10.
10. Avery?
7, but I've got 2 hands, so can I use also my hand axe?
You could 2-weapon fight if you want to hit him with the second one, yeah.
So hold on 1 second. That's a 10 to hit, and then
That'll hit.
So we've an 8 total.
8 total, okay. And Amara, what'd you get for the bite?
7.
7. You all rush over to Apollo. Get the fuck! We're gonna cave it in. Get in here. Get in here. Like, what? You are? He's like, get the fuck in here. Just runs in after he shoots that bolt and it pings off. You get over to your friends, Apollo, as they all just start cracking on this piece of rock tunnel. Swords, arrows, giant wolf spider, just gnashing on the side from all the dents. Hitting it, whittling it further and further and further down in the middle. These guard drakes coming towards you. These guards ripping out of their scimitars, getting closer and closer. And you see beyond them, like 60, 80 feet, like 50 or so of these cultists all rushing towards the roof of the cave. Closer and closer and closer. And finally that tipping point starts to happen where you hear that the cracks start jettisoning up like a web up on the column, up onto the stalactites above. And a few of the spikes on the bottom start going. And then you start to see it sort of just barely sort of wincing back and forth, and Ark trying to just go, get down, take a few steps back, and just shoulder tackle the thing off of the appendage. It falls down. The roof starts caving in. Huge chunks of rock start, get down! You all start running away. I need you all to roll dexterity saving throws as the stalactites from the roof are starting to fall down on top of you.
13.
14.
14, 10,
8.
8.
I'm confused as to what I would do.
So for you, for the giant wolf spider, roll a d20 and add 3.
Okay. Oh no, I got a nat 1 plus 3, 4.
4. So Avery, Arlie, Archeron, you're just booking it inside of this cave as the top of the roof is falling down and on top of you. Apollo and Amara, as you're kind of trailing down behind them, a few chunks of stalactites hits your back and hits your leg as you tumble to the ground. So the two of you are going to take 5 points of bludgeoning damage as parts of the rocks fall onto you and hit your body on the way down. It falls you as you kind of hit the floor. Archeron, Arlie, and Avery rush over to you, kind of drag you over to their side as the rest of the cave system just, as the light from outside starts to get fainter and fainter. As the morning sun's just starting to come up at this point, the light outside is completely collapsed, and this huge echoing crash can be heard from all inside of the cave system. As you are inside this cave, successfully caved it in from the outside. I'm going to switch over the Roll20 map here once more.
The dripping water is a nice touch.
Yes.
Yeah.
Inside here.
Okay. Just really quickly, is there any chance I could have grabbed Apollo and Amara kind of like in my
Well, the rocks hit them as they were running, kind of fell on the ground, and then you rushed over and sort of pulled them over away from any more debris falling on them to get to a safe distance as you kind of see the rock formations kind of stopping at a certain point, and you got yourself to a safe distance.
Right.
So I'm going to say, let's see, yeah, we'll use this. So I'm going to say you guys kind of made it all the way in here. Oh, there you are. Apollo is there. And Amara, you are there. And now all of this is just one giant cave-in.
And this is where we die.
If we die together.
You should have a tomb already. It's cool.
If we die, I call Big Spoon.
I'm the big spoon.
I'm the bigger spoon.
And I'll reveal a little bit more of this. So you are completely, does anyone here have dark vision?
I
Yeah.
do.
Well, yeah, I think we all have dark vision.
I don't think I do.
Oh, okay. You're
All right, so for those of dark vision, you can see, I think, 30 feet in front of you, correct?
60.
60?
Yeah, 60.
Okay.
I also
so
have a torch, by the way. I have a torch.
all right, so you can light that if you want to give yourself some dim light as well for those who can't see.
Yep. Can I
those
give
of you-
my torch to Arlie? Since she's...
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so
I
I
might
give you
have
my torch.
one. Hang on, let me look at my spells real quick.
worries.
too.
So as that giant cave-in happens, you just hear that echo off into the various cave halls and systems throughout this dark, damp, clammy cavern.
Oh, anyone want to update me on where the prisoners are? Where's Leosin?
So we sent the prisoners off with Leosin. He's taken to a safe place. We're going to meet him back at a stronghold west of this current stronghold.
And and whose idea was it to come into the cave when we were free and clear to go here?
I'll give you one guess.
Amara's just gonna click her little mandibles.
Yeah, we all just peer over to the giant spider sitting in the like still on the wall, just like she's like.
Okay. All right. Well, is there any chance of any of you have another healing potion?
Two things. Who all pulled out a torch?
I pulled out a torch.
Okay, so me and Archon both pulled out a torch, and just for the frill of it, because I just got a new cantrip, I wanted to use Druidcraft and just it says that I can like whisper and it just like creates flame. I thought that would be kind of cool to do, and just like light our torches myself with my little cantrip.
Awesome. So Archon kind of hands you over kind of this blunt sort of wooden stick kind of thing, kind of situated with some leathers on the top to dip into oil and kind of light, and kind of hands it to you. And as he's kind of reaching for any kind of torch or lighting tool, you just hold it and you're kind of just looking at it for a minute. And again, you just kind of, the vines start growing out of the wood itself, like you planted a seed inside of it. And then as like little sprouts of leaves and vines are kind of growing out and it's twirling around, the top of it just starts to get hot, and the rest of you kind of feel the heat source for a bit as like this sort of heat wave kind of comes into your general area. Then you just see this puff of flame just start to erupt from the top of it as she holds it.
Okay, cool. And then also, Apollo, what is your health at?
Half.
Okay. So I could give you my potion or use my Cure Wounds spell.
How much does Cure Wounds heal?
1d8 plus 2.
So that's probably better off then, because then healing potion, anyone can use it.
Yes, but
Cure
it would
Wounds,
use
you have
a
to be-
spell slot, and we may need that for battle, because I
Yeah.
assume we're about to have a big one. So
Probably multiple. We should be on our guard going any further in here. This is not like this is. We made a loud noise. They know we're coming, or they know
I'll just
something
give you my potion then.
Okay.
I think I want to use my spell slot for now, or keep it.
Apollo just chugging these potions.
Yeah. Then I'll
Just so
take
you
it.
guys know, like I can't. This is like me saying as a player, like, so whenever I'm an animal, like I can take all of the hit points and go to 0, and then whatever like damage that they do extra to me, like I turn back into my human form and I take some of the leftover damage. So like I think I should go first if y'all ever decide.
Yeah. So as wild shape, basically druids basically have 2 lives. They can like whittle down their human form or their base form. They could get hit, have 3 points left, wild shape into a bear or a spider or whatever, and they have the full hit points of that animal, and then they get whittled down again. And when they break out of wild shape, whatever the hit was to end their wild shape, say like they got hit for 20 damage and they had 2 hit points left, that damage would carry over into the base form. So druids can be a pretty good sponge of damage if need be.
Cool.
I think we need to be on guard here first, and specifically I want to be like checking for any traps they laid or if there's any more hidden people ahead, so kind of like scouting as well. And I think whoever's kind of as perceptive,
I should do it. I have a +7.
I think both of us go. That way
Yeah.
it's advantage, we're both looking for kind of
I
traps
can
and
also
people.
do like a nature check to look for tracks or.
The other thing is if we come across people, if we can see them first, we can get a surprise round on it. So that's the other thing, is we want to kind of have as much eyes out as possible.
Apollo, Amara, you guys go ahead. The three of us are going to just trail behind you. So
Okay.
Okay, so marching order, we got Apollo up here, giant wolf spider, and then Avery, Arcturion, and Arlie up the rear. So for the two of you, you're where you are right now. You're looking for any traps or tracks, or what exactly are you looking for?
I'm gonna look specifically for traps just as we walk ahead, because I don't want.
So it like just point me to an area you're looking for traps, like here.
Are these stairs here?
These are stairs descending down, like sort of natural stairs made from the caverns that descend down to a different area.
I mean, I'll probably try and check starting at the top of those stairs and then going down if there's maybe a hidden pressure plate or like anything like that. Yeah, sure. Roll perception. Do I get advantage with Amara? She's with you looking down.
Sure.
Yeah. You can get advantage on that.
Okay. Perception, you said?
Yeah.
What is with these low rolls today?
Sorry. Are you're specifically looking at the stairs?
Yeah.
You can roll investigation on that one if you're specifically looking at a certain thing.
Okay. Natural 20.
So as the entrance to the cave kind of ends in this sort of area, sort of ends at a 10-foot drop. To your right, there are broad steps that are roughly hewn into a natural stone ramp. The cavern below is carpeted with a profusion of fungi, ranging from a few inches high to nearly as tall as a human adult. You kind of see two paths that lead through the fungi, one on the right and one on the left.
And there's no, I don't see any pressure plates or anything I need to worry about there.
You do not find any pressure plates. You're kind of looking down. The stone steps here are very much like a naturalistic formation. As you're kind of looking through, they don't look to be, made by the cultists. You're looking for traps, pressure plates, kind of sifting through the ground. This doesn't look like it was made with a purpose. This looks like this was just a natural stone ramp step made by the geodes in the cavern.
Okay, I'm gonna kind of look over at the terrifying spider by my side, and go shh, and then point to the right path, and then.
Sorry, one more thing. What was your check again?
It's natural 20, so 21.
Natural 20. So looking down at the stone, because you got a natural 20, the thing you were looking for wasn't there, pressure plates or anything. But as you were kind of looking at the stairs, how they're kind of naturally constructed, it looks like that coming down here, as you had an experience already with slipping down some loose rocks, that it looks like if you're not careful, you could slide down and end up in the fungi if you're not careful.
Not good. I'm gonna let everyone know that. As well as just be very careful in the stairs. And then there's two paths going around the fungi, right?
Yeah, there's one on the left and one on the right.
So I'm thinking I'm gonna call, or we still have Pass Without a Trace on us, right?
It's up for an hour, I believe.
How long has it been?
With all that commotion, I mean, a round of combat is a minute. Based on all of that going down, there was some combat, there was some RP. I'd say 20 minutes or so, probably.
Okay, so we still have some time here.
Sorry, lighting's popping off outside right now. Oh my gosh, my whole house just shook. Yeah.
Okay.
But again, with that natural 20, you could kind of see certain spots of these stone steps that you could step, that you wouldn't slip and fall. There's some parts that look kind of loose and look a bit precarious, but knowing that now ahead of time, you could probably go down there carefully and avoid those.
Okay. I'm going to call everyone else forward from behind us and just explain and be like, follow my footsteps exactly. And Arlie, just try very hard, please.
I mean, Arlie can just hop on my back and I can crawl down the side and totally ignore the stairs if there's no fungi there.
Could you go across the ceiling?
Yeah, I can climb without skill checks.
Yeah.
So that's another way. Those with 2 legs, I think.
I mean, I can take 2 people because last time Kevin said I could take a max of 2 on my back.
Do you want So I'll go down the stairs the normal way because I see the way.
Yeah.
And then whoever wants to go with you.
Yeah.
Kind of circumvent that, and then we kind of carefully make our way in around. Don't touch the plants. Don't touch. Spider, do you know what that plant is? And point at the mushrooms.
The spider reacts to you like this.
I could maybe do like a nature check, right, and check them out.
Yep, you sure could.
Are these like carnivorous mushrooms?
I rolled a 19.
19. So looking down as he's kind of pointing out to you about these fungi, like maybe not go near those. They look a bit weird. And as you're kind of looking at them, they are plants that you have seen before. Sort of etched in with all the various fungi. Some of them are more natural occurring from the environment itself, but there's a few in here that look very off. And as you look down, sort of the base of where their stairs are, you spot 4 violet fungi. These are carnivorous plants that are very, very dangerous. I will reveal this a bit more to you here.
Is it something that we need to destroy, or is it something that we need to just walk?
It's something that you need to avoid.
Okay.
They don't move. They're stationary. But if you disturb them, knock into them, they will react.
Okay, well, in that case, then maybe we should go ahead and get the people with the lowest, like, agility ratings to go with Mara. Just safe.
Yeah.
Ark.
I am gonna I have some clothing and some costumes in my bag. I'm gonna rip off something and I'm gonna tie it over my face. And that's
carnivorous though, so it'll like bite.
Yeah, I'm
Preparing.
I'm just gonna have it on. Just gonna have
preparation.
I just see mushroom. I think spores. I think poisonous
Last
things.
of us.
Yeah, I'm putting it. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah.
So who has the lowest dex here? That's gonna have trouble getting down there.
I've got 18.
15.
My dexterity is 13 plus 1, so 14.
So definitely Ark.
Yeah.
And then I'm thinking Arlie maybe.
Ark and Arlie.
Go with Amara just across the ceiling, and then I think because I see the path, do I see a way where I can kind of get past those plants without touching them or bumping into them or disturbing them?
Yeah, so you see this sort of descending naturalistic staircase going down. Then you see this sort of drop off on the left here. It's also like 15 feet down, but you could just jump down and not even go near them on that side.
Would I take fall damage there?
If you failed.
Sure.
What kind of check would that be?
This would be an athletics check just to jump down safely.
Which is just a straight roll for me.
Mm-hmm.
Can I get like can Avery and I assist each other like going down there?
If one of you has a rope, which one of you left it behind?
I have a
my
rope
behind. All right.
But I think Apollo has rope, right?
I believe so. Hang on, I'm gonna double check.
Most people have them in their starting equipment.
I have a rope and a piton, which I believe is used with rope.
There you go. So you could try to affix it to a rock nearby or a peg into the ground, and that can give you advantage on going down there.
I will do that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
My athletics is plus 4, so I think I'm just gonna jump down, to be honest.
Or on the other side, Amara, being a spider with spider climb, you could just sort of cling onto her back, and she can just crawl along the walls
That's
and the
what he said,
ceiling,
yeah.
and then just come back down to it one at a time.
Yeah, it's just numbers based. So I
And
say
you guys
that-
don't get injured.
If you want to, if Amara, if you just take trips with 2 at a time, get us over to the other end, then we can do that.
Okay, I'll
Let's
do
do
that
it.
because it literally says I can climb upside down on ceilings without needing to make an ability check. So,
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
Do that.
Catch me.
Yeah, so just so you guys know, just a weird fact I just found: a medium creature, like a medium beast, like the spider, can carry a capacity of 210 pounds. So it's like 1 or 2 people. If you're super, super heavy, it's probably not going to be 2.
I'm
Arc-
410 pounds. You cannot carry me. I'm sorry.
Ark, you follow me. Come
Yeah,
with me,
sorry.
buddy. I'll
Alright,
lead because I
so-
see the way. I'll lead him down.
Amara can take Arlie over and then take me over.
okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
The second you said that, I'm like, oh, all
right.
My character too heavy.
Okay.
You try and she just squishes.
Oh, whoops.
Hit points gone.
Yeah, so I'll put the rope down then and use a piton and
I'm sorry, what is a piton?
it's like a stake, I think.
Oh, okay.
It's like climbing.
Piton.
It's like a climbing stake.
Okay, so Apollo and who else is going down the rope?
It's just me and Ark, I believe.
Yeah.
Archer on you. Okay, so I'll have you guys make strength checks at advantage. Or athletics checks at advantage.
Oh,
my
there we go. Sorry.
It's the same.
Yeah.
4.
Dude.
It was a 1 and a 4.
11 both times.
So 10's the DC. Archer, you kind of get down, lower down the rope, plant yourself down, and Apollo still like super jittery from falling down on that rock slide, the commotion from outside. Kind of like, you know, when someone's like trying to climb down like a rock or a tree, it's not even that big of a distance, but they're just so scared that they're like making it worse for themselves. He just starts climbing down.
Has a fear of heights now. Let me just write that down. Just
A little bit. And as you kind of try to get your foot clean, like trying to get a good position on your foot on the stone, you just flip or slip and start to fall. But with Archer on down under you, I'll give you a dex check to see if you can catch him in your arms.
Just about to ask it.
Dex saving throw or just dex?
Just straight up dex to see how quick he can.
Great dex.
How quick he can. Well, actually, sorry. You're right under him. You wouldn't need to move. Just do another athletics check as you're just standing there. See if the weight of him you can just kind
Good, because my dex was 8. Oh, as you gently fall into my arms with 20.
Nice. So yeah, you kind of trying to get down the rope, and you try to put your foot on a rock that you think is sturdy, and once again fall. You're like, fucking shit, fall off. But with Archer on right under you, just lightly catches you, puts you back on your feet.
I like the scruff of your neck, like.
So for Amara, with these 2 on your back, your movement, you got 40 climb, 40 speed, so you can move 40 feet, but you're not in combat, so you can kind of just move it at your leisure. You pretty much can climb on all surfaces, so how far did you want to go? Did you want to take them just to like the end here as you're kind of crawling along the ceiling?
I'll do that as long as like I see that it's safe there, like no weird spores there either.
Yeah, they're all in the center here.
Okay.
So you would just completely avoid them if you wanted to land there.
Yeah, I'll drop them
Okay.
off there.
So the rest of you, for Apollo and Arcturion, you just see Arlie and Avery kind of just grab on to like an arm and like the abdomen around the thorax of the spider, just kind of climbs up the side of the cavern and just gets like camouflaged into the darkness. They just disappear for a moment. And then you just see her kind of climbing down from the ceiling, and just legs just peter out from the top, and you see them just lightly all fall down on the other side. So with the 2 of you making your way to this entrance, where would you like to go next?
What can we see?
So ahead here. Yeah, around there.
we're in the Bat Cave.
Yeah, you see several bats sort of floating above, or you can hear several bats kind of floating above as you kind of are looking around. Like the top of the ceiling is just kind of like various bats kind of moving to and fro. There's some kind of.
The bats dangerous at all?
To you from here, they just look like normal bats. Just like it's kind of hard to make out 'cause it's so dark in here. They just look like just black little forms, just kind of moving on their own.
What's that little pathway that's right behind Harley there?
Oh yeah.
Where here?
No,
The other
the
side.
other side. The other side there.
Over here.
Yeah.
Let me see. This is where I got to look at maps. Do. Three. Yeah, so down there, it's very, very dark. There's kind of like a bit of a pile up on this end, so you can't really see any more clearer down. Over kind on this area, there's just a bunch of rubble that are kind of blocking the way any more further than that.
Do you think they're trying to stop us from going that way? Do we want to take a moment and clear that away and go that way? Because I don't know about you, but if I see, it looks like they've covered that area in rubble, and I would do that if I don't want people to go down that way.
Is the rubble old? Like, is there like moss grown on it, and it's like wet from like things dripping on it? There's like stalactites from rocks on it, or is it like it's like newly like caved in?
Make a perception check.
Okay,
Can I assist? Because we're kind of looking at this together.
I got an 18.
18. You do see some sort of algae and some signs that it might have been there for a while, not newly situated.
Cool. So maybe we should just go past it if it's.
I agree.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll make note of it.
Yes.
But maybe we should go past it for now.
Sorry, I don't mean to be that guy. Can we just recap that mini? I got raided, so I was paying.
Hey!
There's a side tunnel over here, and we were trying to figure out if it was like newly caved in or if it's been caved in for a while. But it looks like it's been caved in for a while.
So it's just blocked off.
Yeah, it's just
Can I roll perception to see if there's any sort of because water causes erosion? Is there any sort of like mold growing on it? Like, is there any?
There's like algae on it and stuff.
Okay, so it's been there for a while.
Yeah, I just rolled perception. It's been there.
Okay, sorry, that I missed.
You're good. You're good.
Like, great minds think alike. Okay.
Yeah,
good.
I got you, man.
Okay.
I say we hurry through here.
I say we press forward.
Well,
Yeah.
let's be a little bit stealthy about it, but yes, I think we kind of move forward. Maybe hug the walls a bit. Just kind of stay away from
Hug the walls, but also maybe stay, behind some of these pillars. Because
Amara's just gonna go, like without doing anything, just go, but stealthily.
Natural habitat.
Go.
So you're gonna climb the wall, the side of the wall there, Amar?
Yeah.
Okay. What was your perception looking into that room again, Apollo? Into here?
Avery got the highest, which was 18.
18. So as you're starting to make your way into this cavern, you're kind of hugging the wall. So are you all kind of hugging the same wall, like over here?
Sure. Let's
Yeah.
stay
Yeah.
together.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's say that you're all sort of hugging the one wall and kind of making your way over here. And as you're kind of crawling around, being very, very quiet, have you all make stealth check again?
You want to guess what that was? Yeah, that was a natural 1 again. So 19.
18.
17.
12.
I was rolling for stealth. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Stealth. Oh, here we go. Clunking Leonin at a 17.
Which is plus
Oh,
Don't
wait.
worry about
We still have the thing.
don't worry about that.
You have
yeah,
that trace still up.
yeah, so add 10 to your arc.
22.
Yeah, 27.
Figure kind of moving in amongst this grouping of nocturnal bats, and then one of these entities kind of pokes his head out and almost looks in your direction. For a second you think it spots you, go "Ah!" and you're about to like gasp for a minute, and Archon just goes just puts his hand over your mouth, and you look up further as all of you he points up, and you notice that amongst these hordes of bats are around 10 to 12 sturges amongst the bats. Sturges are kind of these creepy, ugly-looking bird-like monsters that are kind of like overgrown, gross bats with huge beaks. And they're kind of just subtly like paving their way amongst the bats. You see some of them like just reaching out and snapping a bat out of the air and eating it, kind of like predators amongst a school of fish up in the ceiling, but they do not notice you.
Just be very quiet.
We're hunting rabbits.
We're hunting rabbits.
I think we should just press on as
Just
Agreed.
keep going.
Okay. So as you kind of make the corner over here, you will see
Only way out is through.
kind of this area over here.
there's like a little
Are
link.
there pathways to go to the left or the right?
Yeah, so you can see a pathway kind of going over to the left, pathway going to the right, and a path going straight ahead.
Let's split up, gang. I'm just kidding.
Nothing ever.
I think we just
footprints.
Footprints?
And just see like if anybody's going any way in particular. So if there's like one road that's way more traveled than the other.
Yeah, make a survival check.
Can I assist?
You sure
Or
can.
is it survival that I-
What's your survival,
No.
Harley?
I have
That's
+2.
That's my.
I got a +2 too. So I got 7. I got
Okay.
a low roll.
Low roll. So unfortunately, looking around this area, you're it's hard to make out any tracks through all of the
She's-
dead bats, the guano.
If she's assisting, do I get
I got a
to
6.
that advantage?
You do have an advantage if someone's helping you, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay. You rolled twice.
No, I didn't roll twice. That's now I got
Did you
9.
you can roll twice, or if she's helping you, you can roll one and she can roll one.
Because I rolled
Oh.
a 16.
Well, then she already rolled
Oh.
hers. Excuse mine.
There you go. So looking down the ground again, Avery's you both are kind of looking at the ground, just seeing if anything leads out of here. You sort of make your way kind of closer out of this area as the two of you are kind of starting to make your way over here. And you do notice some kobold footprints coming this way. A lot of them kind of petering off to the left. And there's kind of general just footprints of all kinds in here, kobolds, humanoid, that kind of thing. But you do notice a concentration of them kind of going over to and fro from the left there.
I think we should go that way.
I agree.
All right. Apollo leading the way.
Apollo.
With the
and-
Mara, the ceiling.
Mhm.
So creepy. Following behind Apollo, So Apollo, coming through this pathway here. Just seeing something here. So as you're coming towards this area, my friend, as you kind of make your way into this passage, you are walking, keeping your, visibility low, hugging against the wall. And Apollo, you make that first step through that cavern. You feel a pressure plate start to dive down. You look up and you feel something falling from the ceiling. Everyone behind Apollo needs to make a dexterity saving throw. Amara, you're good because you're off on the wall there.
Well,
So this would be Archeon, Arlie, and Avery.
12.
20.
9.
12 and 20. 12, 29. DC was 15. So who got the 20?
Jessica.
Jess. So Jess, you'll take half damage, but Avery and Archer, you're gonna take full damage as huge chunks of the ceiling just in a line fall down from the sky onto you. So this is going to be not that bad. Or actually, this is going to hit you too, Amara.
No. Wait, should I roll as well then?
Yeah, make a dex save. Because it's also within 5 feet of Apollo.
Plus 30. Okay. 20.
20. Okay, so you'll take half damage here. This is 4d4 for the person directly behind Apollo, and then it's less for the ones behind him. The heaviest rock fell on the person directly behind Apollo. So that will be you, Arlie. So you'll take half of this damage. So 3. That would have been 14 bludgeoning damage, but you succeeded, so you're going to take half of that. So you take 7 bludgeoning damage. Just as the rocks fall, you just instinctively go out of the way, but as some of the debris still hits one of your legs, but it didn't, this huge one sort of fell right afterwards. So you didn't take the heaviest hit. The rest of you are going to take 3 points of bludgeoning damage, half, so we'll say 1.
Oh, okay.
So 1 point of bludgeoning, because it was 3, rounded down. It's not going to be 2, it'll be 1. So the heaviest rock was going to fall on Arlie, but hearing kind of a couple rocks fall down just before, still kind of heavy as a couple hit your backside, but the biggest one about to land in your side, you get out of the way, dart just in time as a bunch of other rocks are falling from the ground. The rest of you are able to jump in the way and move just in time as just a slight sort of rubble falls onto you. But as that happens, you hear something in the dark. As those rumblings of rocks fall down. Hey! Hey, what's going on over there? Is it another cave-in? What the fuck is going on over here? And you hear multiple footsteps coming your way as you look down into the entranceway over here. Oh, come on. reveal. 4 kobolds and 1 kobold with wings sprout out from his back and starts floating in the air. It's like, intruders over there! And they start rushing towards you. But that's what we're gonna have to wait for next time, because that's where we're in the stream.
I was like, just like ready to like that's it, just rage.
Woo! Holy shit, that was some DM.
He's got to be like, oh, watch out for pressure plates. Steps on a pressure plate.
Yeah, I was thinking about that right after the bat thing. I was like, we should still be looking out for traps and stuff.
Weak link. No, I'm kidding.
That was some DM gymnastics for me, but holy crap. Well, this is certainly heating up now. You guys are inside the cave entrance here, seeing what you can find, but holy crap, that was really, really fun. I liked all of that. But thank you all so much for watching another edition of Chromatic Dragon Saga. We really do appreciate it, guys. You guys have been showing tremendous support on these streams. I think like each week from, everyone's streams gathered combined, there's like close to 2,000 people watching this week to week. So thank you guys all so much for your time. And yeah, we'll be back here. Actually, no, we will be taking a break next Saturday, because I have to am partaking in a D&D game for charity, of all things, next Saturday. So unfortunately, we will be taking a break from the Dragon Saga next Saturday.
Can they find that Saturday? And where can they watch that?
So that is going to be 2 p.m. PST. I can't remember what the Twitch channel is that it's happening at, but I will.
Where can they find that then?
Well, I will be hosting it for sure on my channel. Okay. So on Saturday, 2 p.m. PST, you can come to my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Dicecream Sandwich, and I'll host it on my stream, so you can find it right there if you come to my channel. And then on Monday,
what charity is it supporting?
I don't know that either right now.
So you'll announce that. You'll announce that. We'll look at your social media, and you'll be posting that soon.
Yeah, I'll be making posts about it soon. This charity game, it's been like a month and a half of organizing it. So I got all the info like a month and a half ago. So I just haven't retained it.
No worries. I'm just trying to like roll out the red carpet a little bit and get you to go.
No, I appreciate it. But yeah, I will be making posts about it on all my socials at Dicecream Sandwich for more details. But definitely next Saturday, 2 p.m. PST. If you come to to my Twitch channel, I will be hosting the stream, so you can find it there for sure. And also this coming Monday is the 1-year anniversary for Beyond the Realms, my homebrew campaign that we've been doing since the start of quarantine. That kind of was the first campaign we started when doing this full time. So it's going to be an anniversary show. The players are coming in cosplay. It's going to be really fun. I have some really fun videos edited for this session. And a lot of stuff's going to be revealed. So make sure you tune into that one. So that's going to be a really fun episode. But yeah, so thank you guys all so much. We really appreciate all the support and hope you had fun nerding out with us and all the chaos that this crew brings. But yeah, guys, we will see you all very, very soon. Make sure you're following all these amazing creators as well on all of their TikToks, their Twitches, all that stuff, because they're all doing amazing projects as well. But yeah, until next time, guys, wash your hands, stay safe. Don't roll nat ones. Bye!